Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Happy first round of Thursday here as we get the second stream of the night coming on in around in under 25 minutes from now. We'll be tipping off BYU and Texas approximately at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this matchup tonight. And Texas getting here the first four victory over NC State to put them in the round of 64, taking on BYU. Grab the popcorn for this one. It's going to be an incredible matchup. BYU led by projected number one draft pick A.J. Debonsa, the top scorer in the nation, averaging above 25 points per game. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What a wild day so far we've got for college hoops. And High Point topping off the list, a 30-plus win team on the season, pulling off the upset, busting brackets against Wisconsin in the afternoon time slot, 83-82. The game that I had earlier today, that was quite the matchup there. Louisville able to sneak past Florida State 83-79, or South Florida 83-79. South Florida, they were down by 23. Almost mounted the comeback, but too little too late, and three-point shooting powered the Cars to victory. We'll go over what happened so far today, starting off with almost an upset. We almost saw the third one seed in the history of the tournament get knocked out today in the first round. Duke was down by double digits at halftime. They came back and beat Siena 71-65. Duke, they trailed by 11 going into half, and Siena I think they played their starters like 40 minutes for the majority of their starters, the full game for most of their starters today. Left it all on the line, but in the end, Duke able to get past Siena 71-65. Last couple of games, those were blowouts. Michigan State destroyed North Dakota State 92-67. Nebraska in the early window beat Troy 76-47. Arkansas put up 97 with a win over Hawaii 97-78. Vanderbilt, it was a slow start for them. Then they get their wheels going out. They picked up a 10-point win against McNeese State 78-68. And then the first game today, TCU won against Ohio State 66-64. And TCU almost blew a double-digit point lead. Ohio State came roaring on back, but at the end, TCU picked up the win by 2. One game in progress going on. This game just started. North Carolina VCU, back and forth. UNC started off they were up 6-0, and VCU right on back, took a run, took the lead. VCU now trailing by 1. UNC 11-10. This should be a fantastic matchup. UNC VCU, that game, and this game here, another 11 versus 6. Should be an excellent one. BYU 23-11, 9-9 in the Big 12. They went for a tie for 7th in the Big 12. They started off the season red hot. They were 16-1 in their first 17 games, but struggling lately, 7-10 in their previous 17. But coming into the tournament, they are 3-1 in their last 4 games. Now, they do have a key player that's injured. Richie Saunders, number 3 scorer, averages 18 points per game. He is out. An unfortunate injury due to the torn ACL. But this BYU team, they have some signature wins down the stretch. Even though they have been slipping down the stretch in conference action, they had some tough conference losses against teams not in the bracket like West Virginia and Cincinnati. But they had some solid wins down the stretch. They beat Texas Tech in the final week of the regular season. And then they won against Iowa State in the late stage of the season as well. So they got some solid victories to the resume this year. They also had a 28-point win against Wisconsin early on in the season, and Wisconsin's season finished today on the hands of High Point, a 30-plus victory team. But this BYU team, last year they were the 6th seed. They advanced to the Sweet 16. That was year one under head coach Kevin Young, second season as a head coach now for the former Phoenix Suns assistant, and looking for his NBA-level talent, superstar player, A.J. Debonza, to pick up a big win today. Debonza, it's been big time. He had a career-high 43 points against Utah. He is the nation's leading scorer from Brockton, Mass., projected number 1 draft pick in this upcoming year draft. And this should be a fun game. Getting to see A.J. Debonza and what he can do in the first round of the tournament tonight. This is a high-powered offensive unit for BYU, and they don't have any bad losses. They are a perfect 8-0 in quads 3 and 4. They're 8-1 in quad 2. They're 7-10 in quad 1. But they have like a legit scoring duo. They had an extremely reliable trio when Richie Saunders had been playing, a trio that potentially could make a run at a very deep run in this tournament. Definitely a second weekend team, looking at probably like a Elite 8 Final Four run if they did have Richie Saunders, because their scoring is through the roof with this team. They are a top 25 team in the nation in scoring. Defense has been the problem, though, for them this season. They ranked 225th in the country in total points allowed, but A.J. Debonza, leading scorer in the nation, above 25 points per game. He has 7 30-point games, and then he has 2 games cracking the 40-point mark. And then his teammate Robert Wright scores 18 points per game as well. So they rely heavily on those 2 guys, Debonza and Wright, to get the job done. But tonight, if Texas is struggling with their shot making like they did against NC State, then look out for the offense for BYU to carry their team to victory. Texas, they almost blew a 9-point lead with 1:42 left to go in the playing game. Lucky to squeak away, get that win. Trayvon Mark, game winner with a second left to go. 68-66 victory on Tuesday. That game was shaky for Texas. Texas has been struggling as a defensive unit this year. They only shot 37% from the floor. Their offense has been pretty solid. They ranked number 18 in offensive rating, but number 94 in defensive rating on KenPom. BYU, number 10 in offensive rating, number 58 in defensive rating on KenPom. So this is going to be a game. Expect the points to be at a maximum tonight. Just fly off the board. Like, we're looking at a shootout game, in my opinion. A couple of years ago, when Colorado upset Florida in the first round of the tournament, I think that was a 10 versus 7 matchup from like 2 years back. That, I believe the final score is 102-100. Like, we might get that type of game tonight. We might get both teams scoring in the 90s or the high 80s tonight. Like, points are going to be flying off the board unless Texas plays like they did in the last game and they kept on bricking shots. Difference maker in that game was rebounds. 45-33 rebounds for Texas, 15-7 in the offensive glass. Tons of size Texas has, led by 7-foot center Matas Vakataitis from Lithuania. His size really posed an issue for NC State, and they're probably going to see if they can pound it down low, control the glass once again under Vakataitis today in this game again. Dalen Swain struggled in the last game, but he's actually the team leader in points per game, rebounds, and assists this season. Hey, what's good? We got Joe, we got Jeffrey, Bryce in the stream. Welcome back in. Thanks all for joining in. Bradley, Vegas, George. Glad to have you guys back in for what should be another great game here tonight. And Joe rooting for his Fighting Illini tonight. Yep. So Illinois going to be in action later tonight. That's a late game, taking on Penn, 9:25. And this is what we got going on right now. VCU leads North Carolina 13-12, 11.5 left to go in the opening half. Low-scoring game there. Howard, Michigan, that'll tip off at around 7:30. This game has been pushed 10 minutes back. So this game 10 minutes further back will not tip off until 7:35. It was on the schedule for 7:25. The first round of games, those games actually ended up finishing longer than usual. So this game will not be tipping off until quite a bit of time, like 25 minutes from now. BYU slight favorite on the line. Portland, Oregon, Moda Center for this matchup. Texas, one of the last teams in the field for them. 19-14, 9-9 in the SEC. Both teams went 9-9 in their conference. Big 12 is absolutely stacked. What I found interesting about BYU, they had the same conference record as West Virginia and Cincinnati. Both of those teams didn't make it into the tournament for them. Yeah, this BYU team, second half of the season, they just really fell off a cliff for them. They started off 16-1, 7-10 in their last 17. But what I've learned from previous tournaments, one thing I've learned is do not bet against high-level NBA talent in the brackets. And you do not want to bet against A.J. DeBonza from Brockton, Mass. He's as tough as they come out from Brockton. And absolute bucket getter for the projected top pick in the draft. What's good, Alex? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Yep, Michigan taking on Howard. Couple minutes from now. My man Jeff here out on the channel. Glad to have you back in. Yep, I'm the voice for Prestige doing their disclaimers for my man Jeff's company out there. Out in France, 12:11 a.m. Out in France. Welcome in. We got Dian on the stream. Yeah, first stream today. That was incredible. We were posting big numbers, like 900 plus in the chat at one time. We got, I think, like 25,000 plus views on the opening stream today. So, that was incredible, that first game today. So this is my last and only other stream tonight. So just this one is the final one. And then tomorrow, hoping to cover Kentucky Santa Clara at 12:15 tomorrow. And then UCLA against UCF tomorrow, same time as this one, 7:25 tomorrow night. URI, they're gonna play Alabama for the women's team. I saw that they got put in the bracket, so yeah, best of luck to the URI women's in the tournament. I saw Princeton, they were ranked this season for them. They got in the 9-8 spot in the women's brackets because I didn't cover them. I covered a game for Brown against Dartmouth for women's, but when I went through like the conference standings, it was my first Ivy League game covering women's basketball for them this year, and I saw Princeton was just dominating that conference in the Ivy for women's. North Carolina against VCU, that game currently in progress. UNC just buried a jumper. They lead 19-18. That's a really good matchup. UNC dealing with an injury. VCU just trying to get over the hump for VCU. Having a tough time. Previous tournaments for them. A lot of people have faith in this VCU team to pull off an upset. A lot of people also have faith in Akron. Yeah, the head coach for High Point, he was spot on that these other schools, just the bigger schools, won't schedule the smaller schools. How High Point, if they didn't win their conference tournament, they would have got screwed in the bracket. Miami, Ohio, put them in for a reason. Look what they did. Look what they did for Miami, Ohio. They won yesterday against the Power 5 school in SMU in the round of 64. So, big props to the mid-majors. We got to see some more solid mid-majors in the tournament. Like, I hope things go the way that they do this tournament in the early rounds for the mid-majors. I actually have Kentucky beating Santa Clara tomorrow, but I really hope that like Santa Clara can put on a show and see if they can even like pull off the upset in that game, just so we can like even the field. And this could be a reminder to the tournament committee to put in some more of these teams that went like 28-4 that were mid-majors, or 29-4, like a team like Belmont that lost in their conference tournament, didn't make it to the bracket just because of one bad game. North Carolina right now started to take over. 24-18, they lead against VCU. Hey, what's good, Charliso? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, Noah Eagle. So he is the son of Ian. So Noah Eagle went to Syracuse, just like his father, Ian. Yeah, so Noah was on the call for Westwood 1. So he was the one who did the Steph Curry game winner in the Olympics on NBC. That was Noah Eagle who was on the call. That was his, like, rising into fame coming out party, is that he was the main broadcast lead for the Olympics. Yeah, that would be huge tomorrow for, like, the mid-majors if Akron wins. I think the selection committee, they were turned off from the mid-majors this year because last year it was all like chalk in the bracket. Really like chalk. Like I think it was only McNeese State last year that beat Clemson. That was only like the real like upset win that they had. But like in years past, there were teams ripping off wins. There were underdog teams. Oral Roberts, Oakland beat Kentucky. FDU over Purdue. St. Peter's over Kentucky. Like, there were so many mid-major teams pulled off upsets earlier this decade. Then came NIL, and it completely just changed the gap between the major conference teams and the smaller teams. And it's good to see a team like High Point, down by 10, couple minutes left, come back, beat Wisconsin. That Wisconsin team, I mean, they've been vulnerable for years. Like Colgate, a couple of years back, they put up a fight against Wisconsin, played a solid 35 minutes, and then Johnny Davis took over, won that game for Wisconsin. Yeah, Duke's in some severe trouble. What's good, Dina on the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. This game got pushed back to 7:35, it looks like, so we got quite a bit of time before we start off with this one. Getting ready for A.J. Debonsa, BYU, against Texas. Texas, this is a team that gets the free throw line often. They're going to look to see if they can put BYU in the foul trouble. Yeah, my concern is if either Debonsa or Wright, if those two guys get into foul trouble, then BYU is going to be toast. So BYU, main key tonight, got to eliminate foul trouble between Debonsa and Robert Wright. If they do, they should win this game. It's all about shot making. BYU has elite shot makers on their team. And Texas can put up the points as well. That was not an indication in their first game, though. That was shaky against NC State. 37% from the floor. The defense is locked down in that game. Luckily for them, Tremont Mark had to hit the game winner. He's got experience in the tournament. He played for Houston a couple years back. Kendall Weaver, who's a 6'3 guard, he had a double-double off the bench of 11 and 10. Like, that's no way that's going to happen tonight in this game. It's going to be difficult to get. But at the end of this one, if Texas can't play defense, if they can't defend Debonsa, then Debonsa is going to drop 30 on them. This is the time right here, right now. A.J. Debonsa, it's time for him to show up in a big way tonight and lead his team to a victory. Yeah, my bracket is, I mean, it's okay right now. So I got most of them correct. I did not get Wisconsin High Point. And then the other one, I actually took South Florida to upset Louisville. That was my only underdog seed pick besides Iowa over Clemson, which is a 9-8. Yeah, and I got Ohio State wrong too. But other than that, rest of the bracket pretty well. I didn't take those teams far. Like, the teams that I got wrong, I only took them to the round of 32. Yeah, this VCU UNC game is going to break a lot of people's brackets because a lot of people actually got turned off against UNC because of a main injury. And last year, they did not show up in the first round. They got crushed against Ole Miss in that first round game. Yeah, Queens is high-octane offense for them. Queens scores a ton. I wonder if that Queens team is going to exist next year. Reason why I say that is because their campus is merging with Elon during the 26-27 academic year. So this is, I don't know if they're going to keep the Queens team for next year or just merge it with Elon, or if they're going to keep Queens and Elon separate. Yeah, going down the line, this Queens team has 6 guys averaging double figures. Their 7th player averages just under 8. Yeah, they go 8 guys deep and they can shoot the ball. Yeah, that's a matchup to be aware of. Holy moly. This Queens team looks like they're severely undersized, but they can score. Yeah, 18th in the country in points per game for Queens. They can score. They just cannot play defense. They rank 353rd in the country in defense, 293rd in perimeter defense, which is bad against an experienced Purdue team. It's probably going to be like Arkansas Colgate from the year coming out of COVID, where they were in a track meet with one another, and then Arkansas eventually took it from Colgate. Hey, what's good? Hockey Industry, welcome in. Just getting ready to tip this one off approximately 13 minutes from now. We'll get ready. Texas and BYU with Sean Miller getting his team to a first four win, 23-13 in the NCAA tournaments. Their three-point defense for Texas is atrocious, 322nd in the country for them. BYU, historically, they've been known as like a three-point perimeter-oriented team. Hurts them that Richie Saunders isn't playing because he's a perimeter spark that they have. So they're more of attack, get downhill, and put their opponent into foul trouble with A.J. DeBonsa, Robert Wright. Robert Wright, former Baylor Bear, played in the tournament before last year for Baylor. Won a first-round game against Mississippi State. Yeah, it's this BYU team tonight's basically going to be all about A.J. DeBonsa, Robert Wright. That's where the large bulk of the scoring is going to be. Yeah, A.J. averages 25. This is a below par defense with Texas, so good chance he could crack 30 today. Very good chance he could crack 30 unless Texas ramps up the defense like the last game. Texas has size. 7-footer with Matis Vokatitis. North Carolina looking good so far. 24-18 against VCU. A lot of people picked VCU for the upset. I actually stayed UNC. I actually had faith with UNC. They didn't finish too poorly towards the end of the season. A lot of people was like, oh yeah, this Caleb Wilson injury is gonna hurt UNC. Well, they've been playing for like a month without Wilson, and they were hanging afloat. They were winning games. It's not like they were going on a massive losing skid like NC State and SMU going into the bracket. VCU has a tough time making threes. Yeah, VCU, they're led by head coach Phil Martelli Jr., the former coach at Bryant. UNC 4-2 in their previous 6. They beat Louisville, they beat Clemson. And that's without Caleb Wilson. Also beat Duke on February 7th. So they hold a win against Duke. One of 2 teams to beat Duke this year. Yeah, that was the year after Clemson made the Elite 8. And Clemson, basically their whole team last year was seniors. That was devastating for Clemson. They go to the Elite 8, lose to Alabama in 24. And then last year, they get bounced out. It was a huge shock. Like, everybody turned away from McNeese last year because they had played Gonzaga in the first round prior, and Gonzaga smashed them. Like, McNeese was playing a bunch of teams that weren't even D1 opponents that year and playing, like, the easiest schedule in America. And, yeah, they got smashed against Gonzaga in that first round game. And then McNeese completely blitzed Clemson. Clemson had, like, something like 14 points at halftime last year. That was wild with, like, 8 seniors. UNC 26-20 up against VCU. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win here, BYU or Texas. Right now, BYU up in the poll 61 or 62-38. Winner of this game will face the winner of Gonzaga or Kennesaw State. Now, that's going to be tough for Kennesaw State. 10 p.m. game out in the West Coast against Gonzaga. And Kennesaw State's out of Georgia. Yeah, I think your Cards do. Because Michigan State's not like a ball pressure havoc type defense that if Louisville shoots the three like they did today, I think a realistic chance that they can knock out Michigan State. Big Ten has struggled so far. Yeah, Michigan State's the only Big Ten team to pick up a win. Yeah, Wisconsin, Ohio State both bounced from the bracket. Illinois playing later tonight. Michigan playing in a couple minutes. And that's it today for the Big Ten. Yeah, there's something interesting. I think it's their first year doing it. ESPN has a pick'em that they do. It's the pick'em eliminator challenge. So it's the same thing as like the NFL eliminator challenge, and they do it per day. So I did my pick'em for the day, and I think it's based by if you win, it's a survivor poll. You keep on playing. If you lose, then you're eliminated. But it's all about win margins. And you can't pick once you pick that team, you can't pick them again. So the goal of that is to pick teams that you know that's going to win, but teams that probably won't go deep in the tournament right now, but can win by a comfortable margin because it's about win margin. So what I did for today, I picked Gonzaga to win their first round matchup. Number one, Gonzaga is a consistent first round winner on a constant basis every single year in the tournament. And then they're playing on the West Coast in their region against Kennesaw State at 10 p.m., which Kennesaw State's from Georgia. And Gonzaga, usually in the first round, they smash their opponent. They're a 20-point favorite today for Gonzaga. So, yeah, I think Gonzaga is going to win big. So it goes by pick 'em every single day in the tournament. Tomorrow I have UConn to beat Furman. North Carolina, steal and duck. 30-21 UNC. Doesn't shock me there with the outcome of that game right now. A lot of people got turned off with North Carolina, Kayla Wilson's injury. I've been really concerned about the A-10. Like, the last 5 years when I've streamed, I've stayed away from the A-10. A-10 has been super disappointing every single year in the bracket. The A-10 in the Mountain West, outside of San Diego State. Yeah, I did not pick many upsets this year, and the upsets that people were talking about, like VCU, they just never come to fruition. North Carolina flexing on VCU right now, just too much size for VCU. 32-21, a putback dunk by UNC by Henry Visar. Yeah, I actually have UConn losing to UCLA in the second round. UCLA's got a 4-guard lineup, and everybody is healthy, even though they were dinged up going into the tournament. So I actually have UCLA beating UCF round 1. I'll be streaming that one tomorrow, and then UConn, they've been not playing well. They got crushed by 20 against St. John's. I got UCLA getting past UConn. That's my only 7-2 upset with a better seed going down before the Sweet 16. AJ DeBonta, he has scored or assisted on over 30 points for the team this season on average. The first team All-American selection, projected number 1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, representing the Boxers of Brockton, Massachusetts, around a half an hour south down Route 24, south of Boston. Tremont Mark, game winner for Texas against NC State. Cold-blooded, 1 second left to go for the former Houston Cougar, used to playing Kelvin Sampson's system, and now playing for the Texas Longhorns. Game winner to get redemption in the play-in for Texas. Last year they lost to Xavier. This year they won by 2. They almost blew a 9-point lead, but nevertheless able to get here to the first round. 11-6, second stream today. If you're new on the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Gonna tip off in 4 minutes from now. what should be a fascinating matchup. Portland, Oregon, Moda Center, BYU at 2.5-point favorites, led by a projected number 1 draft pick, A.J. DeBonsa, leading scorer in the nation, 25 points per game from Brockton, Mass. Should be a fantastic battle. Yeah, I think the points are going to fly off the scoreboard. DeBonsa, man, he looked good. The tournament win that they had against K-State, he was going off. He had 43 against Utah. Another game with 40 for DeBonsa. BYU does not have a bad loss this year. They're 7-10 in Quad 1, 8-1 in Quad 2. They're a perfect 8-0 in Quads 3 and 4 combined. Texas, 6-9 in Quad 1, 1-4 in Quad 2, with 3-1 in Quad 3. They do have a bad loss representing Quad 3, and then perfect 7-0 in Quad 4. Well, that's good. Ward, welcome on the stream here, man. Let's see if I can find that bad loss for Texas. Mississippi State. Yeah, that was a bottom feeder in the conference. They lost 101-98 home game against Miss State. Also lost against Arizona State in Maui by 1. That's a tough loss for them, too. Against the Big 12, they lost against Arizona State, which is a Big 12 program. So they're 0-1 against Big 12 programs. And then BYU, going to see if I can bring up what they were against the SEC, if they did play against any schools from the SEC. Let's see here. I don't know if they did. Yeah, it doesn't look like they played against any SEC schools this season. Villanova, UConn, those are Big East schools. Wisconsin from the Big Ten. Miami, ACC. They beat all these teams. Clemson, ACC. Yeah. So, they started off 16-1 in the non-conference slate. Only loss was to UConn by 2 for BYU. And then second half, they went 7-10 for them. But what's encouraging, they had 2 victories against 2 solid opponents. They went to Texas Tech. They beat Texas Tech. And then they also won against Iowa State, which is a huge victory for them, for BYU. Yeah, I remember a couple years back, Xavier was, I think they were a 3 seed. They played Kennesaw State in the first round. Hey, what's good, Ward? Welcome back in. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here, BYU or Texas. We're about to tip off in just a moment. If you're new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. A.J. DeBonsa, 25.3 points per game, 51% from the floor. 4th most points per game by a player in Big 12 history. Yeah, this should be a game where the points are flying off the scoreboard, left and right. White jerseys, blue numbers, blue letters for BYU. Kevin Young looking for win number 50 tonight in his second season as head coach, 49-21. Overall, 70% winning percentage. And year 2 for Kevin Young. Last year, Sweet 16 for BYU. Robert Wright III, Alexei Kostic, Kennard Davis Jr., A.J. DeBonsa, Keba Keita. Starting 5 for BYU. Jordan Pope, Tremont Mark, Dalen Swain, Camden Heidi, Matis Vokatitis. Starting 5 for Texas. Sean Miller, year 1 for Texas, playing victory Tuesday over NC State to get his team on to the round of 64. Looking for his 20th win of the season for the Longhorns, the number 10 team in the SEC, going up against BYU, and a tie for 7th alongside 2 teams that missed the bracket with West Virginia and Cincinnati. As we are underway, Texas controls the opening tip. Left to right on the floor for Texas, the burnt orange colors for the Longhorns. Off the opening possession, Dalen Swain. Outside to the wing, Texas takes a 3 and they reel it down. It's good from the perimeter by Jordan Pope. Big start right there off the opening possession for the Longhorns. First possession of the night for BYU. Top of the key with Tabonsa. Texas already that playing game as they break up the pass, intercepted. Longhorns up the floor, 3-on-2. Kick out, 3 at the wing. Pope off the mark, no good. Shoved through on the putback jam. And that goes down by Camden Heidi. BYU struggling defensively. Right now 5-zip right out of the gate for Texas. Tabonsa attacks, kick out, corner 3, Robert Wright off the back rim, no good. Long rebound control by Pope for Texas. Here he goes, rushing up the floor. Pope had it lost, and it's going to be a turnover charge to Texas here. Texas averaging 83 points per game. Both of these teams putting up points left and right off the board this season. Texas number 18 in offensive rating, BYU number 10. Robert Wright, first minute of action. Bounce pass goes over to Tabonsa. Tabonsa off a double team, back out to the perimeter. 10 on the shot clock. Tabonsa dribbles inside. Jumper, 14-footer, connects on it. A.J. Tabonsa able to line up and drill it. Nation's leading scorer on the board right now for BYU. Texas going to slow down tempo this possession. Pope, Heidi. Handoff around the perimeter. Number 12, Tremont Mark, the game winner against NC State. 3-point shot straight away. Swash! Tremont Mark drills it. He's a former product of Kelvin Sampson's system out of Houston before his transfer out to Arkansas and then at Texas. Runner inside the key. Good for 2 for Robert Wright. Got points flying off the board in the first 2 minutes. 12 combined right now. Texas with possession. Top of the key. Vukatitis. Hand off to Swain. Dalen Swain drives. Attacks the paint. Too easy. Up and in off the glass. Man, BYU 0 defense on that possession. Interior defense nowhere to be found. Robert Wright on the outside. Screen set by Keita. Wright dribbles up. Right inside. Right. Huge rejection from behind by Tremont Mark. Texas showed up defensively. Right there, Mark with a big swat out of bounds. That's good. Avnus on the stream, liking BYU. Hit us up in the chat who you guys think's going to win this one, BYU or Texas. Inbound goes off to Tabonsa. Tabonsa 12 on the timer. Jumper, 15-footer. Swoosh. Second basket today for A.J. Tabonsa. He's going to have a big game alongside Wright. Those two need to be perfect. Missed 3 by Texas off the glass. A rebound secured by Robert Wright. Up the floor, Tabonsa. Tabonsa in the corner. Takes on Mark. Tabonsa. Kick out. Right corner. Into the hands to Kennard Davis. Davis towards his left off the dribble. Hand off Robert Wright. Crossover. Attacks inside the paint. Wright sweeps around. Right to the glass. He scores. Up and off the backboard. It's a 2-point game. 3 minutes plus into action. Those two guys, absolute bucket getters, combining for the full 8 so far. 4 each between AJ and Robert Wright III. Dalen Swain. Lob. Vukatitis. Backdoor. Missed the alley-oop. Deflected out of bounds off Keita. Yeah, that should have been 2 on the board there for Texas. North Carolina up at the half against VCU, 39-28. Michigan, great start for Michigan, leading 14-6 against Howard. Texas underneath, looking for the inbound. They get Jordan Pope into the hands to Vukatitis. Bounce pass Pope. Pope floats it cross court. Far side corner, Dalen Swain, and the outside to Heidi. Heidi drives, runner in the key, no good. Vukatitis got the putback. 4-point lead again for Texas. Robert Wright. It's Tabonsa now around the perimeter. Tabonsa off the double team. Tabonsa working one-on-one on Dalen Swain. Gets past him, surges to the cup, and A.J. Tabonsa scores the layup. Man, these guys can get downhill with that burst for BYU. 4 minutes into action. Texas with possession. Dalen Swain. Top of the key. He takes on Kennard Davis. Swain at the wing, is switched, guarded around the perimeter. Swain sends it cross court, rise and fire on a 3. That is buried by Texas. Man, these two teams coming out, nailing shots left and right. Camden Heidi able to let it rain from downtown. DeBonsa off a double team, gets the way to right, out to the near side corner. Kennard Davis dribbles inside, runner connects in the two. And this is a shootout right now. Clearly, what I thought that we'd be seeing, trading buckets, and we got it currently. 27 combined, not even 5 minutes into action. Vokatitis, handoff Tremont Mark, around the perimeter, slides it off to his right to Heidi. Into the hands to Pope, on top Vokatitis, 10 in the timer. Handoff Dalen Swain, edge of the March Madness logo, takes on DeBonsa. Swain, a crossover, Swain, a 4 the shot clock, backs his way, jumper inside the key over AJ, no good. Vokatitis, as we have a foul down low, and it's going to stop the clock. There were 0.9 seconds remaining on the shot clock there. 14 of 56 left to go in the first half of action. Going to head to the first media timeouts of today's game. Wow, we got points flying off the scoreboard right now. Beg my pardon about the previous call. It's actually going to be ruled Texas dead ball rebound, according to the officials. Yeah, Michigan looking good right now, 14-6. Michigan up against Howard. North Carolina looking good at the half, 39-28 over VCU. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. This is a great matchup because Texas has a more balanced team, whereas BYU, they have go-to bucket getters on their team. Like, yeah, BYU is going to have to get everything out of Robert Wright and AJ DeBonsa in this game. Right now, DeBonsa, 6 points, 5 minutes, perfect, 3 for 3 from the floor. Getting to his spots, getting into the mid-range, and then scoring a couple layups. 4 points by Robert Wright, and then 2 by Kennard Davis. Outside those two, because DeBonsa and Robert Wright, they've been high usage. It's just tough for the other guys to really get going and score baskets. They are highly reliant upon 2 guys in the roster for BYU, and it's tough because Richie Saunders went down with injury. It was basically those 3 guys popping off points left and right, but with Saunders out with an injury, then it just made things a whole lot tougher for both DeBonsa and Wright. But yeah, those 2 guys going to have a huge game, and right now DeBonsa right out of the gate has done it so far offensively. They cannot stop a fly out there, though. That's the issue all season long for BYU, is that they're just not connected together defensively on the floor. And Texas has taken advantage of that. Texas with a size advantage on the glass, 5-2 in the rebound margin. And Texas with more balance on their team. 5 points by Camden Heidi, 3 by Jordan Pope. Tremont Mark buried a 3. And then Dalen Swain and Matis Vokatitis with 2. Vokatitis is a 7-footer. Yeah, it was, the initial ruling was dead ball rebound Texas off an air ball shot by Texas with 0.9 on the shot clock. The shot clock did not reset, but it did not need to be reset. So they looked at the monitor, and they put back a little bit more time on the clock. Texas will get the inbound, 1.7 on the shot clock. Corner 3, Texas no good, over the cylinder. That's a shot clock violation. So shot clock violation, charge to Texas. BYU back with the basketball. Down by 3 for the Cougars. Top of the key, Robert Wright. Bounce past DeBonsa. Gets to his spot. 15-footer. That time missed off the rim. A rebound goes to Vokatitis. Classy Cougar, welcome in. Things well. Yeah, I covered a first stream today between Louisville and South Florida. That was a really good game this afternoon. Dalen Swain at the wing finds Jordan Pope. Pope at the top of the key. Brings along the double team. They get it away to a 3 at the wing. That's well off the mark by Heidi. And pushing tempo now out of the pack is Debonsa. Debonsa, jump stop inside the key, goes up, got stripped, got fouled. 2 free throws here coming up at the line for AJ Debonsa. Already 6 points so far for AJ. Texas A&M taking on St. Mary's. That game is tipped off, so we have 4 games once again going on at the same time. First free throw, good. Go 100 plus in the stream. If you're new in the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Second free throw, Debonsa right down the middle. 8 points currently by AJ. Pressure defense in the backcourt by BYU. Texas able to cross midcourt. Texas at the top, number 2 with Kendall Weaver. First time on the floor. He was a big part in the victory on Tuesday over NC State. Double-double for the 6'3 guard. 11 points, 10 rebounds. A lot of hustle plays, energy-building plays for Weaver. BYU, 0 fouls so far. That's a great sign for them. Texas gets the free throw line a ton this season. Teardrop goes down for Texas. That is Weaver bringing the energy off the bench once again for the Longhorns. 3-point lead for Hookem right now. AJ Debonsa. Cross the floor, corner 3 by BYU. That is off the mark. Offensive rebound controlled by Kadeem Moop. And Moop contacted from behind here as he hit the deck. Stacy, welcome in. Congrats to Nebraska. Yeah, first ever tournament win in program history today. Inbound for BYU. Cross court, number 30 with the basketball with Kennard Davis. Taking it to the rack, puts it up and through. Good for 2, plus the foul. And the one coming up at the free throw line to see if he can tie with Kennard Davis. That's what BYU needs. Other players chipping in. If they're going to pick up the win, BYU outside of Debonsa and Wright, they need the others to step up, and that's huge. Kennard Davis Jr. out of St. Louis, Missouri. Hometown of Jason Tatum. Southern Illinois transfer. Averaging 8.5 points per game this season. Free throw is good. Tied up at 17 apiece. Texas pass midcourt. Dalen Swain. On top into the hands to Jordan Pope. Pope slides it off to the wing, off to Swain. Swain towards his right off the dribble. He's defended by Kadeem Moop. Swain attacks the paint, high off the glass, got it off the window, and the one coming up at the free throw line for Texas. Stars showed up in a big way in this matchup. First personal foul charged to BYU. It's on Dominique Diomande off the bench, contesting the layup attempt by Dalen Swain. Free throw by Swain, able to get the bounce. Down to 13 minutes left to go in the opening half. BYU once again down by 3. Right at the wing finds Debonsa. AJ Debonsa off the crossover. Takes on Tremont Mark 101. Backs his way. Debonsa rises for the jumper. Deep 2. Connects on it. Man, AJ Debonsa looking the part right now for the projected number 1 draft pick. Double figures for AJ. 10 points. 4 for 5 from the floor. Getting to his spots, elite level shot making going on in this matchup. Texas with possession. Swain guarded on the outside by Moop. At the wing, into the hands to Jordan Pope. Pope crossover. Dribbles up inside the key. Pope weaves his way out to the corner. Into the hands to Weaver. Kendall Weaver, 5 of the shot clock. Weaver had the ball poked loose, stole away. Kadeem Moop with a steal. They got numbers 3-on-2 up the floor for BYU. Gonna slow it down though. Right at the wing. Chance to take the lead right here for BYU. He does. Robert Wright, right to the rim. It's a 1-point lead for the Cougars. Timeout on the floor taken by Texas. 21-20. The big studs for BYU showing up in a big way to begin this game. 10 by Dabonsa, 6 by RW3. To a timeout, BYU takes the lead. This has been a highly entertaining game so far. 12:02 left to go before half. And we got some elite level shot making going on. Elite NBA type stuff by the projected #1 draft pick for 2026, AJ Dabonsa. 4 for 5 from the floor, 10 points by AJ. It is like Jaylen Brown on Monday against Phoenix all over again. Same exact spots. Deep twos, nailing those down. And then getting to the rim. North Carolina up at the half over VCU, 39-28. Michigan leads Howard, 26-20. Howard's hanging in midway in the first half. Texas A&M, 3-point lead against St. Mary's with 11.5 left. And that's in the opening half, too. That's basically like around the same time as this game. So, both this game and Texas A&M St. Mary's, both of those games will finish around the same time as one another. St. Mary's, 6 turnovers. Yeah, St. Mary's can't win the game if they're going to turn it over 6 times against buckyball pressure defense that Texas A&M has. What's good? Brian on the stream, welcome in. Kelly, thanks for joining in. Hit us up in the chat. Kelly liking BYU in this one. Type in who you guys like to win this one here, BYU or Texas. 67% going for BYU right now. Hey, what's good? Connor picking BYU to win this one. Yeah, so I actually have BYU in this one. But I did have Gonzaga in the second round. I think just more balanced by the Zags. But either way, this matchup should be really good. Like, this is too close to call right now. I think BYU is a 2.5-point favorite. Yeah, this looks like a one-possession game. Texas has got more balance on their team, but BYU has star players, shot creators, and elite scoring. Both of these teams high-octane offenses that could put up points. AJ Dabonsa, 10 points out of the 21 so far. Texas with possession. Texas 8 for 15 from the floor. BYU 9 for 13. Only 4 missed shots right now. That's impressive. And AJ comes out. He's 4 for 5 shooting, getting into the mid-range. Texas with the basketball. Push pass. Corner 3. Rise and fire. Got it. Jordan Pope drills in the triple. Yeah, we've been trading buckets right from the start here. Shot making has been insane in this game. BYU with a possession. Robert Wright around the perimeter. Wright at the top of the key. Off the crossover, dribbles up and drives inside. Blocked from behind by Mark. Loose ball scooped up by Texas with Simeon Wilcher. And they lost it. Turnover. Jordan Pope turned it over away. BYU had numbers but couldn't handle it properly. BYU with possession. Crossover. Attacking. Kick out. Corner. Open 3. That is well off the mark. No good by Dominic Diomande. And a tie-up. Possession arrow will go to BYU. And this will take us to a timeout. 11:01 left to go in the first half. Yeah, the timeouts and halftime is longer, so I feel like that actually benefits BYU compared to a regular season game where the timeouts and halftime is much shorter, because These guys are heavy minutes. They rely heavily upon Dabonza and Wright to do the large bulk of their scoring. After that, it's been tough to get other guys involved. Kennard Davis, 5 points. Like, anytime you can get any other player buckets, that's huge for BYU. Especially in this type of game environment tonight. Kennard Davis with 5, Robert Wright with 6, A.J. Dabonza with 10. They only have 3 guys that scored the ball, whereas Texas has 6 different players who scored. More balance. Jordan Pope with 6, Camden Heidi 5, Dalen Swain 5, 3 by Tremont Mark, 2 each by Vocatitis and Weaver. Jordan, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, that was almost brutal for you guys against NC State. Almost completely lost that game. I saw it was like a 9-point lead with 1:40 left to go, and Texas had some issues closing out. Texas A&M up against St. Mary's 15-13. Wow, Howard's hanging in. 34-29, Michigan up by 5 against Howard. North Carolina looking good. 39-28, 11-point lead. 39-28 at halftime for UNC. Yeah, it's like the 1 seeds forgot to prep for the 16 seeds and just focused on the second round matchup. That's what it feels like. Well, that's good. Frank in the stream liking BYU for this one. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here, BYU or Texas. Totally different game compared to the first. That was all-out havoc. South Florida's pressure defense against Louisville. Louisville won that game because they were drilling threes. South Florida couldn't make a 3 to save their life. And the Cards turned it over 20-plus times. Like, they're not going to turn over the basketball 20-plus times probably against any other team. Like, that pressure defense by South Florida today was insane. Like, that type of defense, it's so choppy to cover a game like that because the ball is bouncing everywhere. Back to action right now. Texas by 2 with a basketball pull-up jumper inside the key. Good. Tremont Mark quickly up the floor. Buries the 2. Got a track meet going on between these two teams. Right. Bounce pass. Almost had it stolen. Recovered it was Kennard Davis. Davis with 5. Crossover. Jumper from the perimeter left. Short Mark controls the defensive rebound. Not many misses today. Texas 4 for 8 from the perimeter. 6 for 9 from 2. BYU shooting 56% from the floor, 9 for 16, but has yet to draw a 3. They're 0 for 4 from the outside. Texas at the wing. Dalen Swain takes on Robert Wright. Swain at the right baseline. Moves it off to Vocatitis inside. Off the double team. Puts it up right over Dominique Diomande and into the hoop for 2. 6-point cushion right now for Texas. Midway in the opening half of action, some pressure defense displayed by Texas here. Dabonza dribbles, drives right down the lane inside. Huge rejection again from behind by Tremont Mark. Second time in this game, Tremont Mark has provided a big-time block. Man, absolute winner. When you got a guy that's used to be part of 2 teams that usually go deep in the tournaments, that's huge for this Texas squad. Former Houston Cougar and Arkansas Razorback. Dabonza 3 straight away. Missed it short off the rim. A rebound is secured by Swain. Texas up by 6, looking to add to it. Swain inside the key. Shovel pass underneath. Vocatitis got stripped, went up, got fouled. And Vocatitis, he went to the free throw line a ton against NC State. He's going to shoot 2 coming up at the line. That's only the 3rd personal foul on BYU today. So that's on Kadeem Moop, first personal foul. Kostic, Diomande, and Moop each with 1. The first one's good. Michigan up against Howard, 35-29. Texas A&M, 4-point lead over St. Mary's, 17-13. Second free throw, in and out, missed by Vukatitis. A rebound, hauled in by Kadeem Moop. Kadeem Moop out from Senegal. 6'7", big man. Quite undersized in the front court for BYU. Reach and fall charge to Texas. That'll stop the clock with 9:24. I like how these two teams are playing pretty freely right now. Texas with just 4 fouls, BYU with 3. That playing game, Texas and NC State, that was choppy with a bunch of fouls. Attacking downhill to the cup, Tabonsa off balance, missed the layup, tipped around, and Texas comes away with a defensive rebound, sprinting up the floor. Simeon Wilcher outside off the mark. Top of the key for Tremont Mark, defended by Wright 101. Vukatitis. Hand off to Swain. Pass off the roll down. Vukatitis. Kick out. Quarter. Texas using the baseline with Camden Heidi. Sends it on top with Wilcher. Simeon Wilcher. 5 of the shot clock. His pass broken up. Intercepted. BYU. Sprinting up the floor. Dabanza to the rack. No good. And he was fouled. And this will stop the clock. 8:44 left to go. And if you're Texas, you'll take that. You'll take that foul. They had a trailer about to put it back in for a putback slam. And instead, AJ Dabanza going to have to earn these 2 points at the free throw line. Yeah, Duke's looked really shaky recently for them. Wouldn't shock me, honestly, if TCU wins that game, especially how TCU's been playing. They're now 10-2 in their previous 12. First one's good. I still like Duke in that game, but TCU is a dangerous second-round opponent for Duke. And Duke should have never struggled like that. Michigan's struggling against Howard. I just really wonder if the 1 seeds even like prep for the 16s or if they just focus on their second-round matchup instead. Because that's what it feels like. Second free throw is good. Feels like right now with the 1 seeds, both of them. Michigan started up their game against Howard. Michigan had limited prep, though, because Howard won the play-in. 5-point lead for Texas. Texas with the basketball. A.J. Dabanza, 12 points in 12 minutes so far tonight, playing the entire game. Jumper, no good. Mid-range, tipped around. A battle for the rebound, out of bounds. Last off, Texas. Pringle, welcome back in. Liking Texas tonight. Wow, UNC starting to flex on VCU, 43-30. Beginning stage of half number 2. That's going to be tough for VCU to come on back in that one. They're not like an efficient shooting team. That team's like a scrappy defense, forcing steals. It'll be tough for them to get on back. They also play like slower pace. Coming off the screen, BYU with a 3. That is well short out of bounds. Missing the mark by Kostic. Man, BYU has to get other players involved in scoring. I mean, they're just 2 guys. You can't win a game if you're playing 2v5. Like, Dabanza's trying to do everything to lead his team to victory. Other guys got to step up and make shots. Pressure at midcourt. Tip to the backcourt. Texas able to pick it up here off the dribble. Wilcher at the wing. Heidi, handoff and outside. Top of the key for Dalen Swain. Swain, 10 on the shot clock. Swain at the low block. Swain swoops around. Got it to go. Up and in. Through for 2. Seeing a lot more balance on the Texas tonight. 7-point lead for Texas. Robert Wright. Crossover. Dribbles up to the elbow. Looking for Dabanza. Sends it off to him. These 2 guys going to have to go off and combine for at least 60 to have a shot at this one tonight. Dabanza bouncing bodies, jumper, 15-footer, got it. So good. A.J. Dabanza looking like Jaylen Brown in his prime on the floor right now. 14 by A.J. 5-point game. Dalen Swain at the wing. Back outside into the hands to a Nick Cody. First time on the floor for the sophomore from Dallas, Texas. At the top with it, Simeon Wilcher. Over to the wing with it, Swain. Swain tries a 3 off the mark. Battle for the rebound. This ball is loose. BYU able to scoop it up. Dabanza up the floor. He will slow it down here. Dabanza attacking, downhill, showing patience, stripped out of bounds. So we'll stop the clock with 6:42. It's been an A.J. DeBonsa show today. Trayvon Mark picked up the reach-in foul. We haven't had many fouls so far tonight. Texas went number 6, though, as a team. Spreading them all out. One personal foul by 6 different guys. BYU, positive sign for them. They've only got 3 fouls this entire game. That's good for them. Against a team like Texas that loves to get to the free throw line. Positive sign for BYU that nobody's in foul trouble yet. 6:42 left to go before half. 5-point game. Victor, welcome back in, bud. It's been a fun game so far. A.J. DeBonsa, 14 points, 13 minutes. 5 for 9 from the floor. Perfect. 4 for 4 at the free throw line. 2 rebounds. Robert Wright with 6. Kennard Davis with 5. Yeah, the other guys got to start to get stuff. Alexei Kostic, 0 for 1. Dominique Diomande, 0 for 1. Like, the other guys barely attempt shots. Kiba Keita, yet to attempt a shot. Texas, a lot of balance so far. 6 different scores. Dalen Swain, 7 points. 6 points, Jordan Pope, 5 each by Heidi Vokatitis, Mark with 5, and then Kendall Weaver with 2. Let's see what we got going on. Michigan finally starting to pull away. 43-34, Michigan up against Howard. North Carolina really flexing on VCU. 48-33 for UNC. Texas A&M flustering St. Mary's. 21-13. Yeah, I actually took St. Mary's in that one. St. Mary's is a slower team. I thought that they could control tempo. That Texas A&M team completely causes havoc. That Texas A&M team, the former head coach of Samford from a couple years back, where they faced Hunter Dickinson in Michigan, and they gave them a run for its money, I believe. Or no, that was Hunter Dickinson in Kansas. Yeah, Kansas was the 4 seed. Samford had a ridiculously great record that year. They were like 29-4 or something going into the bracket, and they went like 11 guys deep. They were the number 1 team in the country in steals per game, and they forced Kansas into overtime, but Hunter Dickinson, just too much size, and proved to be the difference in OT. Duke won. That was 71-65. So a 6-point win by Duke over Siena. A.J. DeBonsa at the free throw line. Texas with 6 personal fouls. BYU with just 3. 2 shots here by A.J. First one's good. A.J. has 15 points in this first half. Second free throw, that's good. BYU just can't take the lead. They took the lead once. They were up by 1. But just cannot put together any stops defensively. Texas 12 for 21. BYU 10 for 21. Texas with possession. Top of the key, Vokatitis. Vokatitis on the floor alongside Dalen Swain, Jordan Pope, Camden Heidi, Kendall Weaver, 5th player to court, slicing the offenders, taking it right to the cup. Jordan Pope scores the layup. 5-point lead for Texas. BYU with possession. DeBonsa on the floor alongside Robert Wright III, Kennard Davis, Abdullah Ahmed, number 34, also in the court, number 24 as well. AJ sneaks around, up and in off the glass with 2 more. Dominique Diamande, 5th player out on the floor for BYU. 3-point game, under 6 minutes left to go before halftime. Absolute show so far tonight for A.J. Devonta. 18 points in the opening half. Here goes Vocatitis to the rim. And he shoves it down with a one-handed dunk. Big fella rising up with authority there for Texas. Robert Wright, edge of the midcourt logo. Bounce pass, Devonta, handoff Wright. Wright, off the screen. Wright dribbles up. Rudder, got it. That was a tough shot right there. Able to float in the runner inside the key for RW3. 8 points now tonight for Robert Wright. Dalen Swain at the right wing. Nobody able to put together a stop in this game. Texas, couple more stops than BYU. Kendall Weaver off the up fake, attacking, skying to the rim, soars and draws the shooting foul. 2 shots here coming up at the free throw line for Kendall Weaver. Kendall Weaver, big difference maker, and the reason why Texas is playing tonight. Double-double, 11 and 10 against NC State in the play-in. First free throw, no good off the back rim. Second free throw, that's good. Down to 5 minutes left to play before halftime. 1 tie, 2 lead changes. Texas, largest lead by 7. BYU briefly took a 1-point lead. Lob deflected, intercepted by Texas. They were looking for a roller backdoor, couldn't find one. Trying to send a roller with Akeda to the hoop. Akeda yet to score so far tonight. Jordan Pope at the top. Vocatitis sends it off to Mark. Mark, top of the key. Joe, the game winner Tuesday over NC State. Second left to go. Bounce pass, drops it down. Low block, Vocatitis. Off the double team. Puts it up, no good. Tipped off the glass, tipped around. Long rebound, controlled out of the pack for Wright. Pushing it up the floor. Drew contact, no good. Couldn't score, but a foul. And 2 free throws coming up for BYU with Kennard Davis. Yeah, BYU gifted with that long rebound. Finally, some defense on display for BYU. Making it tough down low for Vocatitis. They brought a double team on the 7-footer. First free throw, got the bounce and in. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What a game so far tonight, Kennard Davis. Only 1 of 3 scores in this game for BYU. A.J. Devonta, 18 points, 8 by Robert Wright. Kennard Davis with 5. Second free throw miss long. Beg my pardon, he's got 6. So he's got 6 right now. So they only have 3 guys who scored the basketball. 3-point game. Texas with possession. At the wing with Pope. 12 on the shot clock. Into the hands to Nick Cody. Lobbed out low. And Vocatitis held up fouled. It's on Kadeem Moop, who picks up the personal. Hey, what's good? Charles in the street. Welcome in, bud. Second personal foul. Charged to Kadeem Moop. Gotta just watch out for foul trouble in this game. Texas crafty at getting to the free throw line. BYU will go with a substitution. Mihailo Boskovic on the floor. 6'10" big from Serbia. For BYU. Got quite a bit of international players in the roster for the Cougars. Runner. Inside the key off the back rim. No good by Pope. Tipped in though for 2 by Vocatitis. His size beneficial for Texas. 7-footer. Tallest player out in the court. 9 points, 4 rebounds right now for Matis Vocatitis. Under 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Right off the dribble. Bumped into and fouled. Bonus. Coming up at the free throw line for BYU. And this will take us to the under 4-minute media timeout. 5-point game, 37-32. Man, this has been one heck of a battle here. Texas just keeps on shutting down the door on BYU. Both teams red hot. 58% for Texas, 52% for BYU. BYU yet to make a single three tonight. They're 0 for 6 from the perimeter. Texas 4 for 9 from 3. Not many rebound opportunities either, because there's baskets flying left and right off the board. Texas +4 on the glass, 13-9. Vocatitis, couple big second chance points. Yeah, thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of their night as well. UNC up against VCU, 61-45. Michigan, final seconds before halftime, only a 7-point lead over Howard, 50-43. And Texas A&M, 6-point lead against St. Mary's, 28-22. Yeah, this has been a roller coaster of a game so far. Like, both teams going shot for shot against one another. BYU started off slow and they're trying to recover. They took a 1-point lead, and then Texas comes back out, stretches that lead a little bit. Hey, welcome to the membership. We got Elaine out here on the channel. Really appreciate it. Let's get that member hype out for Elaine in the stream. Yeah, big W. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Yeah, Howard scored another basket, so a 7-point lead cut down to 4. Yeah, it seems like the 1 seeds didn't even prepare for the 16s, and that they could just get by without them. That was the stream graphic from last night. There's the one for tonight. So, 5-point game right now. I get a feeling that's probably going to be during the afternoon on Saturday. Free throw in and out, missed off the mark by Wright. Yeah, I actually have a triple header for volleyball this Saturday, so I'm pretty much booked throughout most of the day from like 11 to 6. Whatever comes on at like an 8 o'clock game, that's probably going to be the one that I stream, is like whatever the late game is on Saturday, like an 8 o'clock time slot, early 9 o'clock time slot. One of those most likely. Texas just got the putback. There's an injured player for BYU right now, number 13. And that is Kada, who is down. Vocatitis able to score over Kada off the putback. Ooh. Man. Heavy elbow by Vocatitis. Referees completely missed it. Right to the face area of Kiba Kada. Ooh. Damn. It's a big elbow. Big left elbow there by Vocatitis. He's back up on his feet. Texas can score. BYU, away from the ball, picks up personal foul number 6. So 8 fouls by Texas, 6 by BYU. That's on Boscovich. I like Georgia in that game. Georgia's been playing red hot. St. Louis limped down the stretch. They're just 4-4 in their previous 8. And also VCU having a tough time right now against UNC. A-10 might have a tough time in this tournament. They might be one and done for both VCU and St. Louis. Inbound goes to Swain. 7-point game. The three off the back room, no good. Missed by Pope. Rebound secured by Kennard Davis. Robert Wright pushing tempo up the floor. Floats it back outside to Debonsa. 2.5 left to go before halftime. AJ, edge of the midcourt logo off the screen, set by Boscovich. Debonsa takes it to the rim. No good. Blew the layup. That's a rare miss right there by AJ. Still stays a 7-point game, Texas. Up the court, Swain. On top with Nick Cody. Hit off Tremont Mark. This could be an early knockout punch if they do get up by 10. Underneath, Cody swarmed around. Turnaround jumper off the back rim, no good. Rebound secure by Boscovich. Now we get some defense on display here. Debonsa needing his scoring right now for BYU. Trailing by 7. Fired a fastball to the corner. Intercepted by Texas. Dalen Swain up the floor. Outside Mark. Mark dribbles up. Lost the handle. The basketball turns it over. Man, that's a crushing turnover for Texas. Another opportunity to stretch out the lead. And now BYU, they have to start to settle down and get back into the flow of things. Straight away, 3, not even close. Robert Wright grazed off the rim short. Under 90 seconds left to go before halftime. Inability to make a 3, hurting BYU severely in this first half. That's where they really need Richie Saunders. Unfortunate that he can't play, because they just don't have any sort of perimeter spark out there. Missed shot, tip in, good. Vokatitis for 2 more. 9-point lead, largest one of the game for Texas. 13-10, already a double-double in the opening half for the 7-footer, Montes Vokatitis. Debonsa, Eurostep Debonsa to the cup, scores the layup. Everything a one-man show right now for the projected top pick. 20 in the opening half and 19 minutes by Debonsa. Texas slows down possession. Dalen Swain dribbles up inside the key. Surges to the rim. No good off the mark. Offensive rebound. Vokatitis goes up, draws the foul. 2 shots here coming up in the free throw line for Vokatitis. Man, Vokatitis playing really well right now. Double-double in the first half already. 13 and 11 on 60% shooting. First one is good at the line. Vokatitis 62% this season for his field goal shooting percentage. Second free throw is good. Yeah, this is going to break a lot of brackets. I saw a bunch of brackets at BYU making a run with Debonsa to like the Sweet 16 Elite 8. Timeout on the floor taken by BYU. 31.4 seconds left to go before halftime. And BYU needs a big-time basket. They need a massive basket. And then got to put together a stop as well, because there's still going to be a little bit of time for Texas if you score here. 7 offensive rebounds by Vokatitis. 9 as a team for Texas. Texas is tripling BYU on the offensive glass, 9-3. And in the rebound column, it's 21-11. Texas is smashing teams in the glass this tournament. Man, this game might start to get ugly if BYU can't contend in the glass, and you got to have other players step up. It can't be one guy leading the way this entire game en route to drop down 50. Like, A.J. Debonsa, he's on pace for 40, and they're not going to win. BYU down by 9 with possession. Major possession here for the Cougars. 30 seconds left. 5-second differential. Shot clock, game clock going into halftime. BYU slows it down. Going to use clock. 20 on the timer. 15 on the shot clock. A.J. Debonsa. Edge of the March Madness logo. Debonsa towards his left off the double team. Gets the way cross court into the hands to right. Push pass. Corner 3. BYU. Got it. Needed a 3 by somebody else. They finally got a 3 by a player not named Jabonsa or right jumper. Right before the buzzer, it is good by Texas. Tremont Mark up the floor, cold-blooded, delivers. 9-point lead by Texas going into halftime. It did not matter in that first 3 by BYU. Tremont Mark, ice cold, blooded, buries it straight away. Edge of the March Madness S right before the buzzer. 46 in the opening half of action for Texas. Tremont Mark, big time in this tournament. What a start for the Longhorns. Going into halftime right now. If you guys are new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What's good, James? Welcome in. He's got BYU to win this one. Hit us up in the chat. Who you guys like to win, BYU or Texas? No, I will not be covering the women's tournament. Hey, thanks for the update, Dale. Really appreciate it, man. So, Texas, oh yeah, that's our score. Yeah, Texas up at the half by 9, and then Michigan, yeah, 4-point lead from Michigan over Howard at the half. Let's see what else they got. VCU, UNC. VCU trying to see if they can mount a comeback. Yeah, 3 games at the half altogether. Texas A&M up over St. Mary's 37-26 at halftime. UNC 12-point lead over VCU 64-52. Yeah, best time is when there's 4 games going on at the same time in the same window. North Carolina just drilled a 3. Their big man went pick and pop at the top. 15-point lead for North Carolina. Henry Visar's got 23. Yeah, VCU is having a tough time defending bigs. Yeah, VCU, it's been tough sledding for them getting out of the first round. Last time they won a first-round game out of all teams was against Oregon State back in 2016. VCU had lost 5 straight first-round games coming into this one tonight. And they're previously 1-7 in their last 8 games. Wow, I remember that game, 2014. They blew a 4-point lead with 5 seconds left and lost to Stephen F. Austin in overtime. Stephen F. Austin got fouled on a corner 3, and they buried the shot. It was a 4-point play. They went into overtime, drilled a free throw, and Stephen F. Austin won an OT 75-77. Wow, that's devastating. Back-to-back years, they went into overtime and lost the game. VCU lost against Ohio State in 2015 in overtime. And then they beat Oregon State in 2016 for their previous first-round win, going back a decade ago. And then a loss to Oklahoma in round 2. And then after that, they've lost 5 consecutive games in the 4 because they got COVID during that time. So they could not participate in that tournament. So it was a forfeit. The forfeit win went to Oregon in that tournament. And then VCU lost 2023 against St. Mary's, and then last year they lost to BYU. So they had played BYU last year and lost 80-71. Hey, there we go. That's awesome, Jeffrey. So helping out an oyster farm. Going to be doing it again. Coming up, looks like they have a restaurant down in Jamestown. Best of luck there, man. That's awesome. Trying to get back the channel so I could have like the 4 quad view going on once again at the same time. There we go. All 4 games going on at the same time. So we got 3 games currently at halftime, only 1 in progress right now. North Carolina playing really well, leading VCU 67-56 with 7.5 left to go. Michigan up against Howard 50-46. Texas A&M throttling St. Mary's 37-26. Looks like a lot of ball pressure defense for Texas A&M. Let's see here. Texas A&M 6 steals. St. Mary's getting sped up 11 turnovers. Yeah, that's too bad for St. Mary's. Having a tough time against that ball-hawking A&M defense. Yes, BYU can catch up. Just gonna have to start to play defense. Nobody is really in foul trouble today, so that doesn't help out. Yeah, BYU needs to get other players involved. I say the lengthy halftime, in my opinion, supports BYU. Gives their guys like Devonta, Wright, the whole team, an opportunity to rest up. So it's like extra space in halftime compared to a regular season game. AJ Devonta, 20 points at halftime. Looking really good so far, but one guy just can't win the game. Like, he's basically playing 1v5 out there on the floor. They only have 3 guys who scored the basketball in the first half. 20 by AJ, 9 by Kennard Davis, 8 points by Robert Wright. Like, there's no balance for BYU. Nobody else can score the ball. Vocatitis is demolishing BYU. 15-11 at halftime for Vocatitis. North Carolina, 14-point lead with under 7 minutes left to go. Gian, welcome in. Looking for BYU to catch up here half 2. Same as Jim U. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win here, BYU or Texas. Man, North Carolina imposing their will to VCU. UNC just recorded a block. VCU with a big three, though. 70-59, UNC, 6 minutes left. Signs of life for VCU, a steal. And a blown layup. That's tough. They had a fast break. Fast break for VCU, they blew a layup. Man, VCU, they're going to be 0-6 in their previous first-round games in the tournament. Haven't won a tournament game in a decade. It's a shame. Like, they're always hyped up every single March for VCU, a team that always has a great record, and then it just hasn't been able to translate in terms of A10 teams in the tournament. Yeah, they just had that one run to the Final Four in 2011, and that was it. VCU, Final Four run, 2011. This is what they've done ever since. Lost to... Or actually, no. This is what they did after the Final Four run. Won against Wichita State first round, lost to Indiana second round, 2012. 2013, won against Akron first round, lost to Michigan second round. 2014, first round upset loss against Stephen F. Austin on a 4-point play. Stephen F. Austin drilled a three, forced overtime, won the game in overtime. 2015, first round loss to Ohio State. 2016, first round win against Oregon State, which is currently their last win as a program in the tournament, and then a loss to Oklahoma in round 2. And then 2017, loss to St. Mary's. 2019, loss to UCF, first round against Taco Fall. 2021, lost to Oregon, forfeited due to COVID. That was unfortunate. And then Oregon took out Luka Garza in Iowa in round 2. 2023, VCU lost to St. Mary's round 1. 2025, last year, VCU lost to BYU. Yeah, A10's had a tough time in the tournament, though Duquesne and Richmond did pick up wins this decade, representing the A10. Kind of want to see what St. Louis has done in the tournament. They play later tonight against Georgia. St. Louis lost to Virginia Tech in 2019. That was their last tournament appearance. They did win their first round matchup 3 straight years, 2012, 2013, 2014 for SLU. So they advanced to the round of 32 in 3 straight years in 12, 13, and 14. Wow, Mr. Pickle is going for BYU 87-79. Welcome on board for Mr. Pickles. Yeah, people have been posting in the chat BYU second half team. I think this halftime for sure benefits them because they're like a high usage team. So just to get more of a breather and be able to regain their focus going into half. So this extended halftime, in my opinion, helps out BYU. Whereas if this was just like a regular season game, they would not be helped out right now. You play heavy minutes with your starters. A.J. Dabonsa played the full 20, so did Robert Wright. Kennard Davis played 19. It's basically those 3 guys. They have 3 guys who score the basketball. It's tough to win a game that's played 3-on-5, and that's what it's been so far for BYU. Yeah, this Michigan-Howard game is back in action. Michigan only a 2-point lead in the opening minute of the second half, 50-48. VCU is making it interesting. 70-61, VCU at the free throw line. VCU now trailing by 8. 70-62, 4:50 left to go between VCU and North Carolina. Wow, North Carolina just turned it over. Wow, North Carolina's only had 5 turnovers this entire game. VCU just threw down a slam dunk. 6-point game, 70-64, North Carolina. 4:13 left to play. That game's getting interesting there. VCU trying to mount a monster comeback. Well, Michigan just too big for Howard. Michigan off an alley-oop. 7-point lead Michigan, 55-48. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Right now we're at halftime. Texas nailing shots. 51% from the floor, 45% from 3. BYU, 50% from the floor, but the inability to make a 3, it's apparent. 1 for 9 from the perimeter. And plus, BYU's only had 3 guys score. Michigan, much more balanced. Michigan's got 6 different scores. And Matas Vokatitis, just big-time size advantage for the 7-footer. Double-double, 15 and 11. Michigan, Joel's a 3. They're up by 7. 58-51 Michigan. Wow, VCU. Yeah, they're only down by 5 now. They just scored again. 70-65. Yeah, she's been well. Things going pretty well. Hopefully, we're trying to see if we can get a place this summer together. It's crazy, like the whole housing market and stuff, but it has come down compared to like the previous years. So hopefully, we'll be able to get some place together sometime this summer, most likely. Jet Li going for Texas in this one. Welcome in. Yeah, well, BYU hasn't been able to make a 3 at all. Besides once. Yeah, 1 3 that they've made today. That's it. They're 1 for 9 from 3. Couple more minutes before we start off the second half in this one. I'll keep you guys posted with the other scores throughout college hoops. Yeah, this second half about to begin. Same time as Texas A&M, St. Mary's. Texas A&M up over St. Mary's, 37-26. Michigan getting hot right now. 9-point lead Michigan, 61-52 over Howard. Howard coming out drilling 3 is 11 for 17 for Howard from the perimeter. I'll keep you guys posted. That UNC VCU game, 5-point game right now. With it's around the 4-minute mark left in that one. Yeah, 4:12 left to go there. Wow, VCU just scored at 70-68. 4 minutes remaining, 70-68. North Carolina might blow a double-digit point lead wide open. So I'll keep you guys posted right here. Texas up by 9 against BYU. As we're about to start half number 2 of action. BYU just zero balance. Heavily reliant upon AJ Debonsa, 20 points, 20 minutes, a point a minute for AJ in the first half, but you're going to need much more help by his teammates out there. He's basically playing 1v5 on the floor, 7th first half this season with at least 20 points for Debonsa. Matas Vokatitis of Texas. He is demolishing BYU in the glass. Double-double, 15 and 11 on 6 for 10 shooting. A lot of tip-ins, a lot of putbacks by Vokatitis in the first half. Yeah, Debonsa just carrying the load of his team. Robert Wright III with 8, getting a good amount from Kennard Davis. He's got 9, but everybody else with 0s. BYU, left to right on the floor, they have the opening possession to start off the second half. Robert Wright into the hands to Kiba Keita. Top of the key with Kennard Davis. Number 6 also on the floor with Alexei Kostic. Wright at the top, 10 in the shot clock for BYU. Wright off the screen set by Kostic. Dribbles up, circles around inside the paint, kick out corner. Looking for Debonsa. Broke it up out of bounds. And it was off of BYU. So referees roll a turnover off BYU. It'll go back to Texas. Yeah, Debonsa clearly thought it was out of bounds off Texas there. Tough start. Tough start for BYU. Texas with possession. Dalen Swain at the top of the key. Towards his right at the wing into the hands to Heidi. Mark on top of Vokatitis. Swain drives inside the paint. Jump stop, lobs up over the top of Vokatitis. Shuts the door with a two-handed flush. Largest lead of the game right here, right now. 11-point lead for Texas. 17 and 11 for Matas Vokatitis. Debonsa gonna have to do it himself. Drives inside the paint. AJ, turnaround jumper, mid-range, in and out. Shove through. Kiba Keita with authority, plus the foul. Humongous response right there for Keita with a putback. Oh man, did BYU need that? Keita just erupted to the rim, able to box out Vokatitis, shut down the door with a two-hand slam. One free throw at the line. It's good by Keita. 8-point game. Texas with possession. Top of the key with Swain. His ball got poked loose. Alexei comes out with a steal. Takes it a distance, and they're going to count this for goaltender or not. Looked like he was clearly falling from behind. Got crashed right into the cameraman. As Kostic off the deflection. The steal, yeah, he was fouled. He was fouled. He was trying to plead his case for a goaltend. Not going to get it to him, though. It got blocked off the right side of the glass and not towards the block. But Alexei Kostic jumped the route, intercepted it. 2 free throws here coming up in the line for BYU. Already 2 quick fouls charged to Texas to start off half 2. First free throw good by Kostic. Second free throw bounced in. 6-point game. They were just down by 11. Longhorns with possession. Dalen Swain on top. Heidi bounce past the wing back into the hands of Swain. 11 for 13 at the free throw line for BYU. Texas 5 for 7. Swain inside the key, no good off the mark. Tipped around by Vokatitis. A rebound secured by Debonsa. Third board of the game by AJ. Debonsa at the top. Takes on Swain, one-on-one. Dribbles up, drives inside the key. Hangs up in the air, missed off the mark. Vokatitis secures the defensive rebound. Texas defense starting to clamp down on AJ Debonsa. Bounce pass off the roll down. Vokatitis. Huge swat right there, going up, erasing the shot by Vokatitis. Kiba Keita skying up, flying up in the air with a rejection. Yeah, this is going to set up a really interesting half because Jet Li putting out here Texas second half. Texas doesn't play well in half number 2. I know a lot of people in the first half were saying BYU second half team in the chat. BYU breaks it up out of bounds off the hands of Vocatitis. It will stay. Texas ball. Yeah, I'll definitely tell her that, Charlisa. Thanks so much. UNC, 5-point lead against VCU, 75-70. Minute and a half left to go in that game. Inbound for Texas. Jordan Pope towards his right off the dribble. Pope, 10 on the timer. Swings it cross court. Camden Heidi attacks downhill, working on DeBonza. Bounce pass, intercepted. Terrible pass inside the key to the wrong player for Heidi. Robert Wright takes it the distance and scores. Up and off the backboard. I remember last year, Robert Wright played for Baylor. They were trailing most of that game against Mississippi State, and then he was the key player that led the comeback for Baylor to win that game. Robert Wright, steal and layup, 10 points for him right now. 4-point game after they were previously trailing by 11 at the early stage of this half. 17-30 left to go in regulation as Texas has to burn a timeout. Here comes BYU. Finally awoken right now for the Cougars. Just mistakes being made by Texas and BYU making them play. 20 by DeMonta, Robert Wright, number 2 guy stepping up, 10 points with 2 steals. 9 by Kennard Davis. Keita with a putback jam plus a free throw, and then Kostic with 2. So they went into halftime with just 3 scores. And now starting off half 2 with a 7-2 run, and they have other guys stepping up. Going into halftime, it was basically 3-on-5 with DeBonta carrying the bulk of the scoring, and now all of a sudden the momentum has shifted with other guys stepping up. And exactly what BYU needs if they're gonna pull out this game. Quick update with other scores going on right now. VCU buries the jumper deep, too. It's a 3-point game in the final minute. North Carolina 75, VCU 72. Michigan, 10-point lead over Howard. 15 minutes remaining there. 68-58, Big Blue. North Carolina bricked a 3. VCU fouled in the backcourt in the bonus. They have free throws down by 3. VCU is going to put this to a 1-point game if they drill both free throws. Wow, what a comeback for VCU. ACC looking shaky so far in the bracket. St. Mary's no contest against Texas A&M, just down by 16. Man, St. Mary's is blowing layups left and right. Yikes. They look slow. Man, St. Mary's looks really slow against this Texas A&M team. Texas A&M just scored 44-26 A&M. They're playing bully ball against St. Mary's. Yeah, this is not the game that St. Mary's wants to be in. They're a defensive team that relies highly upon rebounds, second chance points. They can't even score a layup. That's brutal. St. Mary's is blowing layups out there. We get back to action here. BYU scoring run, 7-zip run lasts 90 seconds. Texas with possession. Vocatitis at the top of the key. Handoff to Jordan Pope. Pope thought about pulling up from the edge of the logo. Pope drives on Keita inside the key at the low block. Bounce pass underneath, cutting to the hoop, and it's laid in. Kendall Weaver able to stop that 7-zip run. Scores the 2. Energy man off the bench in the win over NC State. 6-point game. Top of the free throw circle for BYU. Off the dribble with number 30, Kennard Davis. Texas picks up the reach and fall. That's on Tremont Mark. 3rd personal for the team this half. Yes. Yeah, Miami, Ohio, I believe if they're playmaking like that and drilling their threes, of course they would have the chance to beat Tennessee tomorrow. Tennessee hasn't looked that special. this year for them. Kind of a down year for Tennessee, but they get the 6th seed for them. They get, having an odd season for Tennessee. BYU clamped in the corner. Kostic around the perimeter. Sends it off the right. Follow a 3 off the back rim, no good. Vokatitis battle for the rebound as bodies collide underneath. It's on BYU and the over the back violation. North Carolina just turned it over off the inbound. Oof. UNC really choking this one away. 75-73. UNC 2-point lead with 28 seconds left. This game, it's a 6-point game right now. Yeah, Vokatitis, the big man in the middle, has looked really good so far. Weaver, kick out, corner, 3. Texas drills it. Tremont Mark ups the lead back to 9. That's a big-time shot right there for the corner. 11 points tonight for Mark. DeBonsa at the wing. 1-on-1. DeBonsa drives on Swain. Backs his way off the double team. Gets it away on top. Out to the corner. Corner 3 by BYU. They got it. Alexei Kostic stepping up here at half number 2. 6-point game. Under 16 minutes left to go in regulation. Texas edge of the midcourt logo. Dalen Swain takes on Kostic, slides it off to his right. Weaver at the wing. Hand off to Pope. Pope dribbles up, a jumper straight away. That's too long. A rebound goes back to BYU with Kennard Davis racing up the floor for the Cougars. Davis kick out corner. Kostic again, this time short. Rebound goes to Pope. Tied up between UNC and VCU with 8 seconds left to go. VCU was trailing by 19. They get all the momentum right now in that game. BYU just 2 for 12 from the perimeter as Texas scores underneath the hoop, lays it up and in with Dalen Swain. 8-point lead right now for Texas under 15 minutes in regulation. Kostic again fires a 3 off the mark, again tipped around, long rebound back to BYU. Right inside the key, turnaround 13-footer left long. And a foul attached to this play charged to Texas. Their 4th personal foul by the Longhorns. Tough call going against Texas right there, as Wright had bricked it too long. We're going to take a timeout. Under 16-minute media break. Yeah, good spot to take a timeout right now on the floor as well. 14:44 left to go. North Carolina tied up against VCU with 8 seconds left. North Carolina looking to win it here in this possession against VCU. And North Carolina turns it over. Back-to-back turnovers by UNC. 2.4 seconds left to go. North Carolina choking under pressure. VCU burns their final timeout. Man, that's hysterical. How in the world you turn it over? Back-to-back possessions. Yikes. Man, North Carolina's season just unraveling right now. Michigan putting a stamp against Howard. 72-59. Michigan with a major slam dunk. Hey, what's good, Jen? Thanks for joining back in. Yeah, I remember the color commentator in the final WCC tournament game that BYU played in, and they were down by a bunch. Whoever the color guy was for that game, he completely roasted BYU and said that they're moving up to the Big 12 and they never won the WCC tournament. Yeah, Phil Martelli Jr. So he used to be the coach at Bryant. I remember last year, Bryant against Michigan State in the first round, Earl Timberlake gushing with blood on his face. Man, UNC blowing a humongous lead for UNC. 75-75, 2.9 seconds left. Texas A&M looking really good right now, taking it to St. Mary's 46-29. UNC missed the shot at the buzzer. That game's going into overtime. 75-75, tied up going into OT between UNC and VCU. Man, these have been incredible games today. If you're new in the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Feel free to join back in tomorrow. Hope to cover 2 streams tomorrow. Santa Clara, Kentucky, opening up the day at 12:15. After that, UCLA, UCF at like the same time as this one, around 7:25-ish p.m. at night tomorrow night. Back to action, 8-point game. Montes Vocatitis, 17 points for Texas, leading the way. Big time in the glass. He's got 13 rebounds. This BCU just does not have the size to contend with Vocatitis. Top of the key, Vocatitis. Debonsa's got 20. Yet to score so far in half number 2. As Mark was able to save it near side. Vocatitis off the double team. Fall away shot. Got it for a Vocatitis. Gonna count it. And the refs will not, according to the refs here. They rolled Vocatitis on the travel. So no, they will not count this basket turnover on Texas. That's a big call. BYU with possession. Hang it up in the air. Robert Wright up and in off the glass. Scores off the window. That's a huge call there by the refs. Instead of going up by double digits, 6-point game right now. Vocatitis at the top of the key. Wright started to come along. He's got 12. Inside, attacking. Draymond Mark to the cup. Scores the layup. And BYU just cannot put together a stop tonight. Texas with all the answers offensively, 51%. Seems like they're shooting like 60-something based on the baskets that they're scoring. BYU missed the layup, tied up, possession arrow, Texas. Yeah, you got to put together stops in order to win the game, and that's not apparent right now for BYU. They just started overtime between VCU and UNC. Again into the rim, no good. Texas blew the layup. Offensive rebound, back to Texas. Tie up, possession arrow. Arrow goes to BYU this time. Man, we got blown layups now. Like, those are easy layups that both teams should get. And Kendall Weaver could have scored that one. And beg my pardon, this actually goes back to Texas. They called it a foul on BYU. That's BYU's third. So this is actually possession staying with Texas here. Jumper, deep 2. Texas got it. Simeon Wilcher, former St. John's Red Storm, playing for Rick Pitino last season, drills the deep 2. 10-point lead. Debonsa, holy moly, as he soars up baseline, backdoor, and jams it. Eyes behind the back of his head for A.J. Debonsa. That's how he starts off his first basket of the second half. Big time right there for A.J. He's got 22, and then you can't play defense. Layup, too easy. Downhill to the cup by Vocatitis. Seems like they get a big-time energy-building play, and then they forget to get back defensively. Blown layup at the rim by Wright. Tipped around. Rebound goes to Texas. Sprinting up the floor. Numbers. 3-on-2. BYU not there to reset defensively. A wraparound layup's good by the Longhorns. Dalen swayed up and in off the window. Man, BYU, nobody's back getting set defensively. Wright takes it back towards the edge of the midcourt logo. They're going to burn a timeout. Yeah, completely unhappy with what he sees right now with Kevin Young. Just, you got guys that, it's a full layup line out there for Texas right now. 63-51 Texas with 12:15 left. Where is the defense? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Debonsa is carrying the team. That Richie Saunders loss, a significant loss. Like, they had 3 guys this year that were, like, high-usage players. Debonsa, 25. Saunders, 18. Wright, 18. it's tough once the game builds up to get back into it like this. Especially with a more balanced Texas team. They got 4 guys double figures, plus they can't box out Vocatitis to save their life. The interior has been terrible for BYU. 29 of 15 on the glass for Texas. Texas shooting 53% from the floor. Yeah, that was a significant injury with Caleb Wilson. This game's in overtime between VCU and UNC. 75-75 is the score in OT. Michigan, barring a miracle by Howard, Michigan looking like they're going to advance on the round 2. 77-62 for Michigan. And at Texas A&M, up over St. Mary's. St. Mary's in a 4-minute plus field goal shooting drought. 49-31. Wow, that's a shame for St. Mary's. They're getting pushed around, whipped around like that. Yeah, they just look slow against this Texas A&M team. Texas A&M, they play a lot of ball pressure for them. They're just flustering St. Mary's. St. Mary's, they're like a slow-tempo team that takes pretty good care of the basketball. That their style is second chance points, offensive rebounds, slow down tempo, win games through their defense. It's not going to look pretty, but they're going to get things done by winning games 55-50. That's St. Mary's. And right now they're trailing 49-33 with still 12:24 left. That's tough to come on back from that score right now for St. Mary's, for a team that plays one of the slower tempos in the nation. It's too bad. They're usually good to win a game. It depends if they're playing against guys that's like athletic, then there's like no chance that they're going to win that game. They just get like blown out of the gym when they go up against a super athletic team. So that's what would have happened in round 2 for them against Houston. They would have got destroyed either way in that matchup, because Houston's got so many dogs in their team. It's just another level of basketball, Big 12, for Houston compared to St. Mary's. 12 minutes left to go in the second half. Tabonza goes up, got it blocked out of bounds by Mark. Tremont Mark, big time defensively tonight. He had a couple blocks from behind. He's got 4 blocks. He's got all the blocks for Texas. Right there. He's one of the guys from Kelvin Sampson's system. Played for Houston, then transferred to Arkansas. So he's played for some tough workhorse type of defensive squads. BYU just coughed up the basketball. Texas with a steal. And Texas will start to slow it down. Tremont Mark, 1-on-1, takes on Kennard Davis. Mark inside the key, goes up, got it stripped, lost it, loose ball, back to Texas. 10 on the shot clock. Weaver, kick, corner, 3, got it. Dalen Swain, that's a laser from the perimeter. 15-point lead for Texas. BYU in deep trouble. Tabonza, a 3, came up short. Offensive rebound, BYU, a loose ball foul on the floor, charge to Weaver. Yeah, BYU is all about the twos. Attacking, getting downhill to the rim, not so much from 3. 2 for 14 from 3. They're in a tough spot right now. They don't have any sort of sharpshooting. They're going to get back Alexei Kostic into the game. Alexei Kostic and Kennard Davis, those are the only 2 guys who have made a 3 tonight. Inbound to BYU. Tabonza with 22. Tabonza, triple team, lost it, stole it away. One man can't do it all himself. Here goes Tremont Mark sprinting up the floor. Huge rejection by Tabonza. Gonna count the bucket, though. It's a goaltend. Tabonza came flying in right from behind. Tremont Mark, though, benefited too as Tabonza smashed it off the rim over the cylinder. Yep, that's 2. Out of reach right now for BYU, it looks like. Unless they go red hot, you're going to get stops. Dabansa, inside, fouled. Free throws coming up. I mean, this team cannot stop a fly tonight, right from the start. Nobody is guarding the paint. Texas is up by more points than what Michigan's up against Howard right now. First free throw is good by BYU. And I take that back as Michigan just drilled a three. 83-65 Michigan now over Howard. 16-point lead, 15-point lead now. Both free throws good by Dabansa. VCU just scored. VCU 2 minutes left in OT. Leading by 1, 77-76. Texas pass midcourt. Tremont Mark into the hands to Weaver. Handoff to Wilcher. Dalen Swain attacking the cup. Blocked off the rim. And that was number 6 with Alexei Kostic with a denial. Jumper from 3. Texas airballed it out of bounds. Wow, there's been some great tournament games tonight and throughout the day. I can't believe UNC blew a monster lead like that. Dabansa going wide off the dribble, bumped into and fouled. Texas picks up their 5th. Camden Heidi back on the floor for Texas. Tremont Mark will take a seat on the bench. Yeah, good question. I'm not entirely sure about that. I would imagine that it would be a rotating basis for refs. That's what I would imagine it would be. I actually don't know the question. Dabansa inside the key. Gutted a drop with a tear. Drop, it's good for 2. Yeah, I know for the college games that I broadcast, the umpires or officials, they rotate for the games. So I'll do double headers throughout the day. The men's, usually it's the women's game that takes place before the men's for like a college doubleheader for me. And then the women's officials will have a certain refereeing crew, and then the men's officials will be a different refereeing crew. Missed shot by Texas, skidded out of bounds off the rim. It will go back to BYU. Yeah, I think Michigan has a guy that's like 7'2", 7'3" on their team. Yeah, this BYU defense cannot stop a fly. It's a one-man show. A.J. Dabansa, 26. The rest of the team, 29. Dabansa at the wing. Corner, 3 for A.J. Off the back rim, no good. Long rebound controlled out of the pack by Weaver. Weaver, watch out. Almost a half-court violation. Able to get it over the timeline off that pivot foot. And now Texas will slow down the basketball. Under 9:30 left to play. Longhorns by 13. Tremont Mark drives on Kennard Davis. Sends it on top. Number 10 with Nick Cody. Out to the wing into the hands to Camden Heidi. On top with Jordan Pope. For the timer. Pope inside the key. Dump off. Weaver floats up the shot. Missed off the mark. A rebound goes to Kadeem Moop. Kadeem Moop, 6'9", big man out of Senegal. Dabansa gonna have to do it himself right now. Step through. AJ got the layup. 11-point game. One-man show for Brigham Young University with A.J. Dabansa. Projected number 1 pick, surpassing his season average. 25.3 points per game. He's got 28. Texas crosses midcourt. Texas attacking Mark. Hanging up in the air. Missed off the mark as BYU starts to ramp up their defense. BYU with possession. At the wing. A.J. Dabansa. Crossover. On top. Back into the hands to Dabansa. 20 on the timer. BYU down by 11. He's going to slow it down. Looking for a quality look right now for AJ. It's been all him. Calls for a screen to be set. Here goes AJ inside the paint. Dish. Corner 3 BYU. Off the back rim, no good. Huge rebound. Ripped away in the offensive glass by Dabansa. Dabansa goes in. Draws the foul. 2 free throws coming up here at the line for AJ. 8:02 left to play. I think he realizes now that nobody else can do anything. Just, here, I'll take the ball, put my team on my back, and see if we can make a comeback. 11 points down for BYU. 2 free throws here by DeMonte at the free throw line. Texas has committed their 7th personal foul. So BYU right now in the bonus for the next couple fouls as well. First free throw, good. What a game. If you're new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Yeah, Richie Saunders, losing him to injury. That was a significant loss. Second free throw. Got it. 9-point game. It's a one-man show for A.J. DeBonsa. This BYU team, zero balance on it. It's basically 1v5 right now. A.J. trying to do everything possible. 29 points in 32 minutes on 10 for 22 from the floor. He's almost attempted 50% of the shots. 47 as a team, and that's a goaltend violation charged to BYU. So award a basket for Vukatitis. Timeout on the floor. 7:46 left to go as we reach the under 8-minute media break. All right, I'm gonna go back to VCU UNC right now. Let's see what we got. Wow, cold-blooded VCU. Drilled a 3. And then UNC, I think they just got fouled with Visar. Yeah, Henry Visar, 2 free throws, pressure free throws for a 62% free throw shooter for North Carolina at the free throw line. No good. You're going to have to miss this one on purpose. Yikes. Henry Visar just missed the first free throw. North Carolina choked in a big one. ACC in this tournament. Yikes. You might want to burn your bracket opening night if you took the ACC going really far in this bracket. Yikes. If it wasn't for Louisville, ACC, yikes. That ball didn't even hit the rim. Visar, mental mistake, off the glass, lane violation, charged to North Carolina. How embarrassing. North Carolina is going to lose to a team from the A-10. All the money in the world for NIL and stuff like that. A blue blood program. You got players racking in millions of dollars. And you lose to guys that just show up every single day, play basketball. Like, they're not there for the money. They're just there to show up, play basketball. And you got guys making millions of dollars, and you lose to guys who's probably making a couple bucks a week or so by playing ball. Probably here or there off a couple of sales, probably like $15, $20 a week or so. And you got guys making millions, and you choke on a big one. That's embarrassing for North Carolina. Whoop, you can rip that one to shreds right there if you had North Carolina making it really far in the bracket. Yikes. VCU at the free throw line with 3.7 left. They're in the double bonus. That is embarrassing. Second straight year in a row that Hubert Davis can't get out of the first round. Yep, it's over. 4-point lead VCU in overtime. That is unbelievable. BYU out of challenges. 1 timeout remaining for BYU, 2 for Texas. 11-point game. Going to have to be all DeBonsa right now. 70-59. A.J. DeBonsa at the top of the key. Dribbles up towards his left as he is double-teamed. Moop backs his way inside the key. Moop off the step through, blew the layup, and he gets fouled. Free throws coming up here, 2 shots for BYU. Fouls start to ramp up here, Carly, for Texas. That's now number 8 as a team, and BYU with only 3. So what's helping out BYU is that they're already in the bonus. 2 shots here. If you're in the bonus, you're gonna make your free throws. First free throw, no good. Luckily, he gets 2 since it was a shooting foul. Kadeem Moop, 5 rebounds, 0 points. I mean, that's unacceptable. 0 points in NCAA tournament game. 14 minutes, nothing. I mean, that's like... Oh, man. What in the world's going on? BYU cannot make free throws. Rattled out by Moop, still with 0. I mean, that's like current day NBA level Draymond Green stuff. Or like current level Ben Simmons stuff. Like with point totals at a minimum. 70-59, approaching the 7-minute mark left to go. Jordan Pope off to Weaver, back outside. Pope off the up fake, accelerates inside the paint, jump off underneath. Vokatitis couldn't finish, but he has 2 free throws coming up at the line. Yeah, Hubert Davis on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat for that. Like, that's just unacceptable. First round exit, even without your star player. First round exit, blowing a 19-point lead against the mid-major. When you got guys making millions of dollars in NIL, going up against guys who probably make a couple bucks a week here or there at VCU. I mean, that's a shame. First free throw missed by Vokatitis. Second free throw skipped around the rim and out. Rebound goes to Debonsa. Debonsa sprints up the floor now for BYU. 17-point lead at 1 point for Texas. Down to 11. AJ off the double team. Cross court in the corner. Right. Fires a 3. Left off the rim short. Inability to make a 3. Haunting BYU in this game as they come up short again. Just 2 for 17 from the perimeter. Texas with possession. Time to slow down the basketball if you're Texas. Dalen Swain out to the corner. Jordan Pope baseline dribble. Circles around inside the paint for Pope. Back outside to the wing. Dalen Swain. 5 at a timer. Inside the key for Swain using a lot of shot clock. Kendall Weaver. Corner 3 came off the rim short. A rebound ripped away by Cada. And a foul. Attached to Texas off the rebound. Bonus. Free throws again for BYU. It's on Vokatitis in the over the back. Well, luckily for Texas, nobody in really just severe foul trouble yet. 3 personal fouls by Nick Cody, and then they got 7 different guys with 2 fouls each. So everybody has at least 2 fouls. If BYU somehow comes on back, forces overtime in this game, then Texas, it's going to be a disaster for Texas if that somehow happens. I don't think that's going to happen based on that missed free throw, though. BYU bricks a free throw in the 1-and-1 bonus. Texas with a rebound. Yeah, no Richie Saunders. This 3-point shooting took a major hit downwards without any Saunders. Texas with under 6 minutes left to go. Kendall Weaver, bounce pass on top to Pope. Pope, 5 at the shot clock, arises for the jumper on a 3, no good off the mark, a rebound, ripped away by Wright. Gotta go if you're BYU, they sprint up the floor, 4 on 3, Wright inside the paint, on top, Debonsa, launches the 3, oh, he drills it! AJ Debonsa lets it rain from downtown. It's a one-man show tonight. AJ Debonsa, 33 points, his first triple of the game. 8th game of the season with at least 30 for AJ. Career high was against Utah with 43. Texas up by 8. So they're slowing down the basketball. Vokatitis. Handoff. Mark. 8 on the timer. Nothing new right now for Texas. They had a 9-point lead against NC State. Almost blew it. Jumper and a deep shot. No good off the back rim. Tipped around. Long rebound. Secured by BYU. as they take it up the floor. Dabonza a little bit slow right now as they're waiting for Dabonza to get up. And Robert Wright will slow down tempo. Now he's back up. Dabonza a little bit shaken up off that rebound. Yeah, looked like he took a shot from his face. Handoff Robert Wright at the wing. Down by 8. Looking for more. Here goes Wright. Burst the speed off the tier. Drop no good off the rim. A rebound secured onto the pack by Swain. Texas in a 3-minute and 20-second scoring drought. Struggling to close out games this season. Can they get another one here for Texas? Dalen Swain. Edge of the midcourt logo. Switch guard by Keita around the perimeter. Swain takes the 3 off the rim, no good. A rebound secured by Dabonza. Here he goes, shooting onto the pack. Watch out, AJ soaring up to the rim, double clutch, fouled. 2 free throws coming up in the line by Dabonza. And that is one that he usually finishes. He would usually finish that with an and one. Yeah, Dabonza a couple plays ago took a shot to his face as he was trying to walk that off, battling for a rebound. Personal foul charge to Dalen Swain, 4:08 left to go. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. First one is good. It is a one-man show tonight for AJ Dabonza. Winner of this game will face the winner of Gonzaga or Kennesaw State. The 3 versus 14 winner, most likely Gonzaga on Saturday. Second free throw, good by AJ. 6-point game, only a 2-possession game here, folks. Texas led as many by 17. Dalen Swain with 3 personal fouls. Texas with possession, bounce past the wing. Mark on top into the hands of Swain. Lob down low, Vokatitis held up, he got fouled. And that's only the 5th charge to BYU this half. 10 the personal fouls by Texas. And this will take us to the under 4-minute media break. 70-64. BYU right in it with under 4 minutes left. Well, if you're Texas, you know who the ball is going to. AJ Dabonza, a point a minute almost tonight. 35 points, 36 minutes, a one-man show, 11 for 23 from the floor. Perfect 12 for 12 at the free throw line. After that, 12 by Robert Wright, Kennard Davis with 9, Kostic with 5, Keita with 3. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Vokatitis, big game on a double-double. 21 and 15 for the big man for Texas. 15 for Mark, 14 for Swain. AJ Dabonza responsible for 55% of the points. Texas A&M taking it to St. Mary's, 61-46 Michigan. About to put up a triple burger on the board, 98-72 Michigan over Howard. Big second half for Michigan. This is my final stream of the day. I'll be back tomorrow. Kentucky versus Santa Clara at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to come on back for that one, feel free to do so. Also, hoping to stream tomorrow night, UCLA against UCF. Tremont Mark tonight, he's got 15 points and 4 blocks. Big time in the block department for Mark. Some tough blocks tonight at the rim. 6 for 11 from the floor. 3 made threes. That leads the game. He leads everybody in the game with 3-point makes. BYU this entire game at just 4 total assists. This is just... It's just simply a one-on-one iso ball scoring team for BYU. That they just try to play straight hill, dribble drive penetration the entire game. Or just spot up into the mid-range. Hey, what's good? Glad to have you back in. We got Behind the Arc fan on the channel. Welcome back in, brother. Texas plus 9 on the glass, 35-26. If you're just joining in, Texas led as many by 17 points at one point in this game. And Now it's getting close. BYU only down by 6 with momentum. A.J. Debonsa almost a point a minute. 35 points, 36 minutes played. Playing the entire game tonight. Perfect 12 for 12 at the free throw line. Texas underneath the hoop looking to get the inbounds. Texas well in the corner with Jordan Pope. Pope back outside to the perimeter. Into the hands to Tremont Mark. Tremont Mark defended top of the key, working on Keita. 1-on-1, 8 on the shot clock. Mark drives inside the paint over Keita. No good, missed the layup. And we have a foul charge to BYU. Yeah, Mark bumped into from Keita from behind. This is going to reset the inbound for Texas. So non-shooting foul. That was before the shot off the bump. Inbound goes back to Texas. Moving it around the outside. Jordan Pope. 12 at a timer. Bounce pass. Roll down. Vukatitis at the rim. Blocked by BYU. Got it back again. Goes up. Got it. And an and one at the free throw line. For the player of the game tonight, Matas Vukatitis. Too good. He is too good with his size. Missed the first one, got it back. Scores over everybody. Man, just that size. Proving to be a difference maker in this first round matchup. Double-double. 23 and 16 by Vukatitis. Vukatitis with a free throw at the line. He's only a 64% free throw shooter. And that is well off the mark. Debonsa with his 8th rebounds. Down by 8 for BYU. BYU's got to go. Under 3.5 left to play. Everybody knows who the ball is going to go to. Robert Wright at the wing. Debonsa flares off the screen. Receives it at the top of the key. Debonsa, 1-on-1, hunting down a matchup, jab step, dribbles up to the elbow. AJ draws the double, flings it down low. BYU is held up and fouled. Double bonus time, 2 guaranteed free throws coming up at the line here. For number 13 of BYU, Kiba Keita. The clock will stop with 3:06. So Keita will have 2 critical free throws. AJ Debonsa scoring over 55% of the points in this game for BYU. Keita is only a 53% free throw shooter. Actually a smart decision for Texas if it pays off. First one, it doesn't though. Wow. Leave it up to the tournament. A 53% free throw shooter buries the first free throw. BYU, they'll take that as a win halfway there right now. A win on this possession if he buries both. He does. Oh my goodness. 6-point game, 2-possession game, 53% free throw shooter makes them both. Inbound Texas in the backcourt. BYU starting to play their pressure full court defense right now a little bit as they meet Texas at midcourt. Texas bobbled it, got it back though. A lucky possession there for the Longhorns. They will slow it down. 2:50 remaining. Tremont Mark at the wing. Into the hands of Swain. A critical possession right now for Texas to stretch the lead. Swain at the top of the key. 5 at the timer. Towards his right. Swain on top finds Mark. Up fake. Drives on Keita. Inside the key. Blocked from behind by Keita. Loose ball. Keita able to scoop it up. BYU right in this game. Down by 6. A.J. Debonsa under 2.5 to go up the floor. Debonsa off a screen by Keita. Keita rolls down. Debonsa still off a double team at the wing. Here goes AJ. Crossover. Elevates for the J. Top of the key. No good off the mark. And we get a foul on the floor. Charge to Kiba Keita. Loose ball foul on Keita. Stops the clock with 2:16. Crushing possession there for BYU. Why attempt a 3 by Debonsa? Look at the percentages tonight. 3 for 19 from 3. Go right to the rim. You're in the double bonus. You're perfect at the free throw line. He's 12 for 12. Go right to the rim if you're Debonsa. Why settle for a 3 on the contested 3? Kiba Keita. He just fouled out. That's his 5th. Yikes. This is not good for BYU. Kiba Keita just picked up his 5th personal foul, so he has fouled out. Vukatitis only 69% at the free throw line. 1-1 Bodis missed it short. Rebound secured by BYU as he couldn't make the free throw. BYU with possession. Devonta off to right. Dribbles up inside. A key hangs up in the air. Got it a drop. It is good by Robert Wright III. It's only a 4-point game. 2 minutes left to go. Texas in the backcourt. They're pressured. Able to get it away off to Heidi past midcourt. No spoilers in the chat. If you guys are new, we're around 30 seconds behind due to YouTube delay. Minute 45 left to go here. Texas slows it down. They almost blew a 9-point lead in the first 4 against NC State. At this same mark in the game with around a minute 40 left to go. Turning the corner, off the curl. Dalen Swain off the double team. Kick out, corner 3. On its way for Texas. They got it. Jordan Pope, bang, bang, from the corner. A humongous shot to lead by 7. Timeout on the floor taken by BYU. Big time shot right there by Jordan Pope for the Horns. Man, coming in clutch right there. 1:21 left to go as BYU burns the timeout. What a game. If you're new on the stream, smash the thumbs up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Michigan wins their first game. 101-80 over Howard. Texas A&M, final minute left to go. They're going to win. They lead by 13 over St. Mary's, 63-50. A.J. Devonta doing everything that he can do in an NCAA tournament game except take a contested 3 in the final 2 minutes. 35 points, 39 minutes, perfect 12 for 12 at the free throw line. That contested 3 on that possession really hurt BYU. But they got their work cut out, down by 7. They just cannot chip into this deficit enough. They had a 1-point lead early stage of the first half, and that was it. They only led once this entire game. Texas led as many by 17 at one point. Man, humongous shot for Texas. That should right there most likely ice this game. Jordan Pope, ice cold in his veins, big time. Feel free to join in tomorrow. I'll be back live, Santa Clara, Kentucky, if you like to come on board and be a part of that stream. BYU in the front court. Minute 21 left to go. Texas were just much more balanced than BYU, and they smashed them in the interior. 23-16 by the 7-footer Vukatitis. 37-29 in the glass for Texas. Texas with 4 starters reaching at least 11 points. One-man show with BYU with Devonta with 35. Inbound off to the corner. Out to the wing. Launching a 3. It is good. Needed a quick shot. They got it. Alexei Kostic is a 4-point game. Inbound for Texas in the backcourt. BYU pressuring the basketball. Kendall Weaver crosses midcourt. Minute 5 left to go. Weaver up by 4 for Texas. Ooh, his handoff almost got cut off into the hands of Vukatitis. If you're BYU, doesn't hurt to fall right now, and they'll do so. Vukatitis only a 69% free throw shooter. Oh no, check that. Texas burned the timeout. Texas got the timeout. Looked like BYU was about to foul Texas, but Texas burned the timeout before BYU tried to foul. Yeah, Texas was all out of sorts there. 57 seconds left to go. Massive 3 by Alexei Kostic. That's only their 4th made 3 tonight. 4 for 20 as a team from 3. A.J. Devonta is only 1 for 6. And they're throwing out bodies left and right at Devonta. Like everything's been mid-range or at the rim for him. He's only made 1 3 this entire night. Man, AJ DeBonsa started off this game looking like the 2025-2026 version of Jaylen Brown. Getting into the mid-range, hunting down one-on-one iso ball matchups, drilling 15-footers left and right, and then attacking, getting downhill right to the rim. I mean, this kid is something special. Yeah, BYU almost committed a foul. Eight personal fouls charged to BYU, 10 over the limit for Texas. One challenge remaining for Texas. They got a timeout as well. BYU out of timeouts and 0 challenges in this game. 58 seconds left to go, so an extra second put back on the clock. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What a game. We saw North Carolina blow a 19-point lead against VCU and lose in overtime. Texas up by 17 at one point in this game. Inbound goes to Texas. Dalen Swain. Pressure by DeBonsa. Got away with an offensive call right there. DeBonsa took a shot to his chin. And a late whistle. Oh! As we stop time here. And yeah, no offensive foul. Wow. Swain got away with an elbow to the mouth of DeBonsa. Yeah, that's a hard lick right there. So where we stop time, 49.8 seconds left to play. Yeah, ref stopped it for DeBonsa, who went down hard. Took a big-time elbow. This is being looked at right now at the monitor. Yeah, they let the play on for the next 3-4 seconds. Referees let that play on. And according to the refs, it's a foul charge to Kadeem Moop of BYU. But they're backtracking right now. The referees are to a couple seconds prior where DeBonsa received a heavy elbow to the face area. So this is being looked at right out the monitor by the officials. Huge elbow, and then the possession continued for another 2-3 seconds, and then according to the refs, it was a personal foul charge to Kadeem Moop reaching in. So that's what they have currently, but before that, this is under review for the heavy elbow Dalen Swain to the mouth of AJ DeBonsa. That's a lot going on right there in that possession. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll be back live tomorrow, Santa Clara, Kentucky. Feel free to join in for that one in the afternoon. Heavy elbow by Dalen Swain. Texas A&M beat St. Mary's 63-50. Yeah, referee's going to stand with an initial call, so nothing flagrant there by Texas, by Swain. And this will send Vocatitis to the free throw line in the 1-and-1 bonus. 69% free throw shooter. Critical free throw. Texas only 5 for 11 as a team at the free throw line. BYU 19 for 24. Vocatitis left it short, no good. DeBonsa secures the defensive rebound. Chance to put this game within a one-possession game. DeBonsa kick out corner, decides to defer right. Baseline dribble. Too much time coming off the clock right now. Gotta go. Back to DeBonsa. Off the jab step, backs his way inside the key, draws the double team. Bad pass, got intercepted by Texas as BYU has to commit the foul. Man, just tough decision-making right there for AJ DeBonsa. And back to the free throw line will go Texas. Just missed the bounce pass wide. Not on the same page of Kadeem Moop. Wide and away. Looking for a Moop wide open underneath the basket, and he sent it wide and away, and Heidi came up with a steal, flung it off to Vokatitis, who got fouled. Vokatitis just missed the previous free throw. He's having a tough time in this tournament making free throws. He's in the double bonus now, so Texas up to the double bonus. So 2 guaranteed free throws for Vokatitis. First one, no good. Man, this is brutal. This guy cannot make a free throw to save his life. Matas Vokatitis is 3 for 9 tonight at the free throw line. If Texas somehow loses this game, you look back at free throws. 42% at the free throw line. Horrific. Second free throw off the mark. Debonsa collects the defensive rebound. They're out of timeouts. Another chance here for BYU. Right. What are you doing? Just take it to the rim. Right. Hangs up in the air. Blocked by Vokatitis. Texas comes out with a basketball. And BYU will have to foul. And they look to see if they can force the tie-up, but they will not get the call with 18 seconds. Back to the free throw line for Texas. Man, just right after you get the rebound, just sprint up the floor if you're BYU. What are you doing slowing down, waiting for your teammates to reset? Do you see the seconds on the game clock right now for your BYU? You got 18 seconds left to go. First free throw, that is good. Ice cold-blooded by, guess who? The guy who hit the game winner against NC State, Tremont Mark. So, leave it up to Mark here to lead his team to victory at the free throw line. Second free throw is good, 77-71. Because that was not happening at all for Vokatitis. 18 seconds left. BYU walks it up the floor. Gotta go. Leading into a 3 that's well short. Air ball, out of bounds, off BYU. BYU with horrific court management, or clock management in the final minute. Texas in their backcourt about to get the inbound. They realize that Vokatitis needs to come out of the game, a 69% free throw shooter. He substitutes out, and he'll finish tonight with 23 points, 16 rebounds for Vokatitis. They got their free throw guys in on the floor. Texas couldn't get anybody to cleanly inbounds, and they will burn the timeout. 9.7 left to go. 6-point lead for Texas. A.J. Debonsa did everything possible, but not much help tonight by his teammates. This is a one-man show. Like, high-usage player going up against a team that's got balanced attack with Texas. BYU is just 1v5 with A.J. Debonsa. 35 points, 14 points by Robert Wright. Everybody else single digits. Not really much going on for roster construction in terms of team for BYU. Relying heavily upon one dude to carry the team and nobody else chipping in. Matas Vokatitis, big game for him. Besides at the free throw line, he struggled, but just imposed his will in the interior on the glass. 23 points, 16 rebounds. Player of the game tonight on the interior for Vokatitis. Tremont Mark, 17 points. Massive corner 3 by Jordan Pope to ice the game. Got him up to 11, 14 points. 6 assists, 5 rebounds by Dalen Swain. That's 4 guys who averaged double figures. They got 4 guys tonight who scored in double digits. Inbound Texas in the corner. They're stuck. They're trapped. You got to get it away. And Tremont Markey still trapped and eventually followed with 5.4. If you're Texas, you'll take that. You will take that if you're Texas. You let 4 seconds run off the clock when you're trapped in the corner. Eventually, will lead the free throws. Man, this is unfortunate tonight for BYU. Now Richie Sauter's injury, a significant injury. Yeah, BYU could not hit a 3. We're seeing a lot of teams advance in this tournament. The teams that can drill threes, those are the teams advancing in the brackets. And the teams that cannot make a 3, those are the teams getting bounced out like BYU. 4 for 22 from 3 tonight for BYU. Both free throws sink through for Tremont Mark. Texas about to take on the winner of Gonzaga versus Kennesaw State in round 2. A jumper no good off the back rim, misfired by Debonsa. And this game is over. Texas, back-to-back wins for the Horns, winning the first 4, and then they stun BYU as the 11th seed for the Hook-'em Horns. They are on to the round of 32. Final score, 79-71 for Texas. Montes Vocatitis, big time tonight. 23-16 for points and rebounds. He had 9 offensive rebounds, 19 by Tremont Mark. Hit some key free throws late in this game. Dalen Swain, he finished with 14. Jordan Pope, big time 3 from the corner. And the final minute left, he finished with 11 tonight for Jordan Pope. One-man show by BYU. A.J. DeBonta gave it his all. 35 points, 11 for 25 from the floor, 12 for 12 at the free throw line. He scored 49% of the points tonight for the Cougars, but just not much balance. DeBonta double-double. Finished with 10 rebounds. Just like the teammates that he played with. Yikes. It was awful. Robert Wright with 14. That's 4 points below his average. And then Kennard Davis with 9. Kostic with 8. 5 by Keita. 0 off the bench. This BYU team was razor thin. Like, you cannot win games if you got a super thin roster. And yeah, that was a significant loss already without Richie Saunders. Tough game for the Cougars. Texas, though. Congrats out to Texas. They are advancing on to round number 2 of action. At Texas out-rebounded BYU 40-31 in the glass. 38-36 points in the paint. Vocatitis, big game. Double-double, 23-16. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Kentucky takes on Santa Clara. Feel free to come on back for that one if you guys would like. Before I do sign off, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and Texas will face the winner of Gonzaga versus Kennesaw State. And we will close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout-out at the end of every single one of my live streams. We got Jason, John, Michael, Bradley, Joe, Lonely Satellite, Warren, the Denisha Player, Norma, Kelly, Ogie, Russell, Rydog, Astros Fan for Life, All on the Prowl, I Am Ghost, Ian, Edith, SJ Sports Talk, new to the channel membership, we get Elaine. Thanks for being a part here, joining in for Elaine today, first time on the membership. Thanks all for joining in for this one. Texas picks up the victory, able to win against BYU. Feel free to join in tomorrow for Kentucky, Santa Clara, UCLA versus USF for 2 streams tomorrow. Thanks all for joining in, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.